Oh, he had a fish come up with him. He's got one up here with him. He's got two with him. Let's set him in the rod holder. And oh, we got one on this rod too. I was going to raise this one up and drop it down. They're over here fighting. They're over here fighting for that bait. They're literally fighting to get it out of his mouth. Look at this. They're literally, he's got the bait wedged in his mouth, and there's another one there. Two of them. Two of them. Look at this. Look at this. Look. They're trying to get the bait out of the mouth. That is the damnedest thing. Hey y'all, good morning. Me and you, we got to get after it quick here. Daylight is burning. That sun is getting ready to pop up over the trees. It's technically already past sunrise. We should have been out here about 30 minutes ago, but one of us, me, slept in a little bit today. But we're going to make up for lost time here, get some baits in the water, and go after some catfish today. That's the plan. Blues, if we're lucky, a flathead. If we're unlucky, maybe some danged old channel cats, but either way, we're going to try to catch a few today and get off the water before it gets miserable hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a stretch of a big flat. So the river here, the way it works, you got the shoreline over there, obviously. There's a slight drop, and then you've got a huge flat out here. And then over here where we're at, it drops off again to the old original river channel. And I'll tell you something, y'all, lately, my best action has been coming up on the flats. Most years, summer months, I am off on the deeper edge of the drop, out in the main river channel. That bite's been pretty much non-existent lately. My best action is coming like up on top of right before it drops off, up on the edges of these flats. That's where I'm catching fish. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, I've got us some premium bait down in here in the floor. I got this for my trip yesterday. Kept him in my live bait tank throughout the trip, and I was like, you know, I'm going to save him till today when we can get out here at first light. And, well, I've slept through first light, but we still got some time before that sun comes up over the trees. So let's go ahead and get this thing on. We're going to start out with 2 pieces of sucker right here to start the trip. We're going to use a head. I should have brought a knife here. I don't even have a knife in this new kayak. The scissors, though, we'll make it work. But we're going to start with a head and a chunk. And this sucker here, this is big enough. I think we might get maybe 4, possibly 5 baits out of it. So I want to start, since this is the best bait we have. I've got sucker, I've got gizzard shad, I've got threadfin shad. We've also got some chicken in the cooler too, which those of you that know me know I'm not a huge fan of chicken, but I will say in the summer months, it is a better bait. And lately, I have done pretty well on chicken, at least as far as numbers of fish goes. So here is our first bait going down. There's a piece of sucker. Lord, you've done got the line around the rod tip. Every time I'm in a hurry, y'all do something to sabotage me. So let me show you the rig real quick. We got 2 Carolina rigs that we're going to be using today on light tackle. The first one here has a number 1 sized shiner hook, 15-pound fluoro for the leader, a little swivel, egg sinker, 15-pound braid. Got a Catfish Sumo light tackle rod and a Daiwa BG 4000 size reel. Now I'm dropping this down to the bottom here. We're 29 feet deep. Now that it's down there, we're going to raise it up so that it's off the bottom. So if we're 29 feet, I want this bait 26, 27 feet deep. Now, oh, lordy days, here comes the sun. Take a moment and soak that in, folks, as it pops up over the trees yonder there. That's a beautiful sight always, but I was hoping to be fishing about 30 minutes ago. Nevertheless, here's our sucker head. This one's going to have a little bit bigger hook. This is a 7/0 size circle hook. Everything else about the rig and the gear is the exact same. Let me put that head over there by the sunrise. You can look at both of them at the same time. That sunrise is way prettier than a old sucker head though. But we're going to drop it down, and then I'm going to get us on the move. We're going to do some trolling today. try to cover some water. We don't have any kind of current flow out here this morning. They're not generating at the dam. And by the time they start generating and the current got to where we're at, well, me and you, we done back at the house in the air conditioning today. So, I'm in my new kayak here. This is the Old Town Sportsman 120 Pro. I've got the Minn Kota Terrova motor and this Humminbird Explorer 9 graph. And when I got this kayak rigged up, I ran a cord from the motor to the graph so that they can communicate with each other. And why that's helpful on a day like today, where we want to work this flat here, what I'm going to do, hopefully you can see right here, there's a little cursor button. I'm going to push that. And I'm going to come up here and put my finger, not that one. Let me get that one right there. There we go. I'm going to put my finger right there on that contour line right before this drops off. So you can see how the contour line's over here kind of wide. That's where we're on that flat, not much difference in depth. But you get over here, all them contour lines are real close together. That's signifying that drop over to our right, the main river channel. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hit this button. We're going to go to follow, contour, and it's going to offer up options here for this contour line that we've just highlighted. And I'm going to push the orange. I think that's the direction we want to go. I want to go this way. We'll see. If not, we'll go back and fix it and make it go the other way. But now I'm going to go over here to the motor. I'm going to hit the cruise control, and I'm going to put us on about 0.4. And now this thing, being all fancy and technologically advanced, way more so than I am, it's going to drive for us. It's going to go over here, get us on that contour line, and it is going to start following it until that contour line ends at the speed that we have set. And so me and you, we are going to just go up through here and try to run into some fish. We are covering water today. We are going to try to put our baits in front of as many fish as possible. And we're going to start out with the sucker, because that is the premium bait as that sun is about to go behind the clouds. Soak it in one more time there, folks. One more time. Beautiful, beautiful sight. Every sunrise, I don't care if it is going to be blistering hot here in an hour. Every one of these sunrises is absolutely amazing. I love them. But anyway, we're going to cover some water. We're going to try to work up this flat, get as much distance as we can in here today. So let's say we fish 4 hours and we're moving 0.4. Well, that's 1.6 miles that we can go up through here today. And you cover that much water, chances are you're going to put your baits in front of a fish or two. And if you've got something that they're willing to eat, they're going to gobble it up. So what I'm going to do is put you all here in the chest, and I'm going to just leave the camera rolling today, folks. We're going to just have another unedited, real fishing trip where you see everything from right now when we're dropping baits in till it gets so damn hot I can't stand it and we roll out of here in a few hours. I ain't much for this summer heat, folks. I would rather it be hot than cold, because I really despise the cold. But once it gets just melting your skin off type heat, I'm just ready to go home to the air conditioner. So I like to come out early, get on the water at sunrise, although you can see there on the clock on the screen it's 7:01. We done gone and missed it today. We've got a late start here. But I like to get on the water early, catch some fish, have some fun, and then when it gets to the point that fishing's not fun anymore because of the heat, well, we take it on home. So that's what we're going to do today, but we're hopefully going to catch a bunch of fish in the meantime. And the good news is, if you're seeing this, it means we caught some, because I ain't posting no dang skunk video. I don't know how many fish we got. I don't know how big a fish we got lately. Those of you who've been watching my videos regularly, big fish have been hard to come by. We've been going through the spawn here. It should be wrapping up any time. I keep expecting to start catching some fish that are marked up from the spawn, because for those of you maybe not familiar with how catfish spawn, they're cavity spawners. They get back in these crevices and stuff, and back in these creeks and up under undercut banks and under logs and stuff, and they get marked up getting in and out of those places. They'll get wounds. They'll also get wounds defending their nest and stuff like that. So when they come off the spawn, when the spawn ends, and they come back out and they're heavily feeding, and that one just got hit. Our head bait just got hit right there. There it goes. Oh, here we go, buddy. Fish number 1. He don't feel that big. Oh, he just come off. He just come off. I think he didn't feel big enough to eat that bait. I think he probably just had hold of it. Didn't get the whole bait and the hook too. That's a good sign though. We're a few minutes in. Already getting bit here. But yeah, but like I was saying, man, these fish, when they first come back out off the spawn, they'll be beat up. They'll be aggressive. They'll be eating. But you'll catch them and they'll have wounds on them, open wounds or scars and stuff. And I'm not seeing that lately. Like the fish I've been getting, they're clean. They're not beat up. So I think the spawn, and that too, and you see people on social media every day posting videos of them noodling them, where they're hand grabbing them stuff off their nests. So, because when they're spawning, they're up shallow. And a lot of people will set out boxes, these wooden boxes. They'll plant them in the wintertime when our water levels drop down. And then they'll go back in the spring when these catfish make nests in there, and they'll block off the entrance, reach in there, grab them, and yank them out. You've seen it. Hand grabbing, noodling, there's various names for it. But those people have been posting on social media still every day. So I know most of our fish are still on the nest, but it's time to start seeing some of them come off. At least I expect it any time now. But thus far lately, I haven't been seeing it. The fish have been no wounds or issues at all that we've been getting. And we just ain't been getting the quality. We've been getting fish that are the juvenile size that aren't spawning yet. And we've been getting a bunch of them. But the places I've been getting them have been, and it don't matter what section of the river I've been on, it's been places like we're at today, where you've got left rod. Let's see if this one can get more than just the bait. He needs to get to hook too. You tell him he needs to get to hook. This is on the chunk right here. Come on up, fish. We want to get a look at fish number 1. And leave that bait on, too. Yeah, he's a little old thing. He did get the hook, though. We'll go ahead and net him since I've got that. Oh, no, did you see that? He just threw that bait off. Grab that bait. Grab that bait. Did I get it in the net? Oh. Oh, I got skills, folks. I netted that dang bait right there. We're going to reuse that. Fish, you get over here and think about what you've done. I know what you were up to. He thought, this fish right here, he thought, I'm going to throw that bait off. And when Justin lets me go, I'll go down there and eat it. That was conniving right there, fish. I got my eye on you, buddy. I'm on to your games. We ain't got much sucker today. I want to make use of every piece because that's a premium bait. I love me some sucker. Quit that flopping around, you danged old fish. I do like me some sucker, y'all. It's one of my favorite baits, honestly. I've had good success with it, both live and cut. I have a hard time getting them. It's kind of just a situation where I get lucky sometimes. And yesterday, when I hit the water, it would have been the last video for regular viewers. There he is, a little dink. Get out of here, dink. But it would have been the last video for regular viewers because all my stuff goes in sequential order on this channel. He did knock the gut pocket out of that thing. Let's go ahead and just rehook it. I want to send it back down, try to get another one on it before we switch out since we just have so little. But Anyhow, I fished yesterday and had to throw the cast net first thing, which took longer than I had hoped it would. But I got that sucker along with some shad, and I'm always happy when I get a sucker because it's just one of them things I can't predict when it's going to happen. It just, when I do, I just consider it lucky. But anyhow, what I was going on at before that fish interrupted me, lately, these flats all over the river, it don't matter where I have fished, and it really don't even matter how deep the flat is. I mean, yesterday I was catching fish about 10 feet deep on flat. Today we're 27. I mean, all these flats, depending on where you're at, they're going to be a little bit different in depth before they drop off to the main river channel. But the historical pattern in the summer for me has been to drift or troll if you don't have current, like today's situation, we don't have any flow. But it would be to follow this line. Instead of the top that we're on, I would follow the bottom out in the deeper water. And this year, I'm just not doing any good out there. Anywhere on the river, I'm not doing any good on the deeper parts. Now, why is that? Well, your guess is as good as mine. I think on the very lower end of the reservoir, I think we've had a thermocline, which is a bit unusual in itself. Normally, most years, we get enough flow throughout the day to prevent a thermocline. This year, first off, lately, we've been a little bit hotter than usual. And we've had a drier year overall, so we've had less flow. And I think we got a bit of a thermocline situation going on downriver, which would explain why fish would be up higher in the water column or in shallower water. But even places like yesterday, where the main channel edge is about 40 feet deep, we started out fishing there, not doing any good, moved up on the flat, about 10 feet deep, caught some fish, and eventually I made my way far enough up that we lost the flat. The flat was just gone, and we had to get back down into the deeper water again, and again, just didn't do worth a diddly poo at that point. The action I'm getting lately has been coming in the shallows. Now, listen, when it comes to fishing these flats in the shallows and stuff, like, there's always going to be some fish up there, especially your juvenile fish and stuff. Like the flats are very productive areas to catch numbers of fish. If you're wanting to go out and get some fish for a fish fry, if you are taking a child out, or your girlfriend or wife or whatever who maybe doesn't fish all the time, and you're just wanting to get some action, get some bites, flats are a good place to target any time of the year. I mean, it's 7 days a week, 365. You can have a reasonable chance of success up on the flats. But normally, most years, my better fish, they're going to come on the deeper part of the ledge. But I mean, it's just been that deeper bite for me lately, really for the last month or so. It's just been non-existent. I mean, it's just been a complete dud. The trips that you haven't seen where I've went out and tried filming videos, it's every one of them that I've just either failed to catch fish or get enough fish to justify posting a video. It's been days where I've specifically focused on the deeper part of the ledges. So I was like, it's one of them situations you can't fight City Hall. Like, I don't know exactly what the cause is that makes it different this year than most years. But I've seen enough evidence now, just witnessing it with my own eyes, that like we've clearly we've clearly got a pattern here. We've clearly got something going on that's causing these fish to be higher up. So I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to roll with it. So today I'm coming back out here, and we're going to pick this stretch of this flat, and this goes a long way. Like, I don't know how far upriver you can see right now with this camera does terrible in low light situations, which now the sun's up, it's probably a little better, but all the way up around the bend to the right, you have a flat here that comes out before it drops off. So, I mean, we could follow this, and we're not going to go all the way up around the bend. We're not going to have that much time today to fish before it gets just scorching hot. But all up and down through here, we're going to have an opportunity to catch fish. They're going to be roaming around feeding on these flats, and when our baits just happens to get near them and they can pick up on the scent, you got fish that are actively feeding, and you've got something they're willing to eat, they're going to come get it. So this has been the pattern lately. This has been what's working out. I'm not getting big fish lately. I'm not. Yesterday, which would have been the last video, what was the biggest fish yesterday? 5 pounds maybe? I mean, it's been hard times on quality, but quantity, when I do what the fish want me to do, I'm catching at least good numbers of fish. When I do what I want to do and what I think I should do, I'm still not getting good quality, but I'm not getting hardly any numbers either. So I was like, you know what, today we're not gonna fight the trend. We're just gonna go with what's been working and try to make something happen. So, I mean, we've been out here a few minutes. We've already got 2 bites, 1 fish landed. At some point, I want to use this sucker here first because it's the best bait we have. And I've never found a particular time of year that sucker just isn't a good bait. It seems to be a year-round type of bait. Other baits, like you take the shad we have, for example. I do better on shad in the winter and early spring, usually. When the water temperatures get hot like they are now, here goes our sucker head. Something thumped it. He ain't acting like a very big fish, though, is he? No, he let it go. Oh, he's back on it. I felt him hit it. He's after it again. I'm just going to hold this thing in my hand. I felt him come back. Will he come back a third time? I kind of hope he moves on. That ain't one big enough to eat that head. We'll just make sure it ain't foul hooked here or something too, since he's hit it multiple times. No, it looks good. But it ain't a bad time to fish sucker. Shad, on the other hand, you can catch fish on shad any time of year, but I do historically have better success with it in the cooler months, winter, early spring. Other baits, like you take something like white bass. White bass, I've never really done too well in the winter months with it, but in these hot summer months, that turns into a better bait. Skipjack's kind of a year-round thing. Sucker, I find to be a year-round thing. Crappie, here goes our sucker piece. Oh no, he let it go too. When we're using this big a bait on fish that are maybe the size of that last one that we caught, we're gonna have a hard time getting hooked up. They're gonna bite that bait and take the rod down, but not be able to get the hook too. Okay, 26 feet now where we're at. But crappie, another one of those baits, late winter, early spring, it's great. The rest of the year, I don't do particularly well with it. At least, here on my home waters, Tennessee River. So, I mean, you'll notice patterns like that over time, but one bait lately that I'm not a fan of, and you know this, is the chicken. And a lot of people use chicken. Some people use it plain. Some people marinate it in flavors, whether it's Kool-Aid or garlic or all kinds of various concoctions. Personally, I mean, well, and even lately, I mean, the fish we're getting on, it's been small, but you do catch a bunch of fish, and it kind of represents mussels. At least the meat inside of mussels, which is a big part of catfish's diet, at least during the summer months. I've told this recently, but you'll oftentimes catch fish that are, especially if you're somewhere near a mussel bed and you catch a fish, it's probably going to have shells in its belly. Like, you're going to feel it. Like, they'll eat the whole shells and everything, and then their digestive system will break it down and you get that meat out of there, the nutrients. But you break those shells open, it's meat, and the chicken, I think, kind of represents that. And so I've brought some chicken with us today, and we are going to cycle through it today at some point. I just wanted the bait I feel is the best trophy class fish bait that we have with us today. I wanted to start with it. And then we'll work in the shad, we'll work in the chicken throughout the morning. But yesterday I went out and I hit the water with only a pack of chicken and a cast net. I had to make some throws with the net early. Took longer than I had hoped to get some shad, but finally I found an area right along the shoreline that had some gizzards. And so when I finished up yesterday, I went back to that spot, and there were way more shad in there when I finished up the trip than when we started that morning. So I'll show you here. Let me get out of the cooler. Let me get that piece of sucker there out of the way. So I've got us here in the bag, man. I've got all kinds of shad in there. Various sizes. Gizzards. I mean, we've got some bigger gizzards like that, and then we've also got some smaller shad like that. Like, we've got a variety of sizes today to offer them, and plenty enough that we're not going to run out. In fact, I'm thinking we probably got enough bait yesterday to supply today's trip and maybe tomorrow too, if I choose to fish for catfish. I'm going to fish tomorrow. Now, whether or not I fish for catfish or something else, we'll see how today goes. But we got plenty enough bait. That spot, man, that place I fished yesterday, I have thrown a net in that creek once or twice before, I think. I haven't done it very much, and so I wasn't real sure exactly where the shad would be, so I just kind of made some random throws where they should be, where I would expect them to be in that particular creek. But it never fails when you're doing an unedited video. You're gonna have a harder time than you'd hoped. You're not going to just make one throw usually if you're doing an unedited trip like this. But we ended up getting it done in the end, and we caught some fish yesterday and had some fun and reeled in some stuff and went back, got some bait, filmed a channel members video, and then went home last night, got a good night's rest, and we back out here to do it again this morning. I rested too good last night with the problem because I didn't want to get up this morning. Didn't want to get out of bed. So we got about a 30-minute later start than what I would have ideally liked, but you know what? We out here now. We're making up for lost time. I mean, you look there on the screen, you're seeing some stuff there on the bottom. I got that screen split, so half of it's map card and half of it is the 2D sonar. We could also, too, bear with me, folks. I don't know how to operate this screen. I wonder if we could do the map card and a down scan. I guess we'll have to add a chart. Yeah, right there. That's an option. Okay. Now, let's try that. See what that looks like. See what our down scan. Yeah, there's still some stuff there. on the down scan. It's not as cluttered on that image. I gotta zoom in on that a little bit. Oh. Our head bait's going down while I'm fiddling with the screen. Them small fish just chewing that thing up. They're gonna ruin it. They're eating the gills out of it. All right, I got our screen there zoomed there where we can see the contours. I may need to adjust it, looks like. Keep us here along the top. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust this a little bit. The other contour, as we've gotten farther up in here, it ain't necessarily the one that we want to follow. So let's, that button. I'm still, bear with me folks, I'm still learning all this stuff, all this newfangled technology. Follow, contour, that direction. Okay. Did it maintain my cruise control? It did. Okay, all right. There. I'm getting better with technology, folks. I'm not a technologically advanced person at all. I generally, my other kayaks, been, oh. Okay. Let's see if he's actually got it. I think he does. I think he's got the bait and the hook. If he ain't got the hook, he's dedicated because he's sticking with it. We get this one up though, we will switch this bait out. Yeah, he's a little one. He's thrown it off anyway. Oh, he actually didn't get it in the mouth. You gonna shoot your eye out, Ralphie. He's got himself hooked in the side of the face. He come up and hit that bait, I reckon. Open up. There we go. Boy, you was close to losing an eyeball there, fish. I don't know if you know how lucky you are. He said he don't feel very lucky. He still got a hook to the face. Well, let's get the other piece of sucker that's left here. I think we're going to be a little bit conservative with this sucker here since we just have the one, but let me cut them fins right there. Yeah, I think we're going to get maybe 2 to 3 more baits. Need to put a knife in this kayak, folks, for these larger baits. These scissors are ideal for smaller stuff like shad and chicken, but these bigger baits can sometimes be a little bit more challenging to cut. Okay. Let's get this on. We'll continue on our move. Nice thing about that fancy technology up there is it's driving for us. So if we do hook into a big fish today, we ain't gonna get pulled off course. I'm not gonna have to manually fix that. The motor will do it for us. It's kind of nice. I've never needed that kind of thing before. I certainly, you know, I wouldn't try to talk any of you all into it unless it's just something you really wanted, because this crap, I mean, you get all this technology and stuff, but it ain't cheap. I was fortunate enough to get this deal for putting this kayak on video and stuff. I was able to get this stuff, but it is high dollar stuff, man. The motor and graph costs more, at least retail price, than this dang kayak. So kayak fishing is one of them things. It can be as cheap or expensive as you want it to be. You can go to the Walmart and get a $200 kayak and take it out and go fishing. Now, you may not have the best experience with it, and it's not going to be particularly stable or particularly comfortable, but you can get on water with a $200 kayak. Or You can go the other extreme and get you a most expensive kayak on the market and put on high dollar electronics and motors, etc., and have a rig that's $10,000 or $15,000 too. There ain't no right or wrong to it. It's whatever your personal preference is. Some people want to go the distance and have every bell and whistle. Some people want to keep it super minimal. Most of my trips, I kind of want to keep it minimal. That's just my personal preference at this point. I like fishing out of my Hobie Lynx, which is my other kayaks, paddleboard style. I really enjoy catching fish out of it, but I also want a rig like this for tournaments and days where weather's bad and situations like that where maybe conditions going to be a little bit more windy or choppy and water's rougher. It's nice to have a setup like this that can handle it more so than my Lynx, which is that paddleboard style. So it's nice to have options, but this setup here, if you bought everything retail, the kayak's $2,000, the motors, this fish says he's going to take this bait for free. I hope he stays hooked up to this head too. He was at least big enough to pull some drag. I think he's going to be a little better than what we've gotten so far. He still ain't going to be no monster, but he's at least going to be a upgrade over the fish that we've landed to this point. Yeah, he has somehow choked that dang bait. I don't even know how he got it in his mouth. He just wedged that thing in there, I believe. No, he ain't either. He's just knocked it off. His mouth was open. I thought he had it in, but apparently not. He knocked it off for one of his buddies down there. He took one for the team. They're dividing up his loot down there right now. You're a good man, fish. They'll never give you the credit you deserve while you're alive, but they'll sing your praises someday when you're gone. They'll write memoirs about you. I guess he would have to write his own memoir, wouldn't he? I don't know. All these presidents get a memoir, and none of them's writing it, so. Anyway, nobody cares about that. Lord. There we go. All right, let's get our net out the way. I don't know that we needed a net on that fish, but he did feel at least a little bit better on the line than his counterparts. He at least pulled some drag. I'll pull our sucker back out. We're going to stick with this sucker. As long as we got it, I think we're going to get this bait and maybe one more. I don't know. That last piece of the tail there ain't gonna be much to work with, but we had to try, folks. We had to at least get this sucker on first thing and see what we could do with it. If there was a big fish around, they're gonna eat this thing. Question is, are there gonna be a big fish around before the small ones clean us out of it? Run that through the belly. You always want to get these scales off there. Never leave them scales on your hook points. That'll be the end of your chances of catching fish if you do that. I don't remember what I was talking about now. The fish completely broke my train of thought. What the hell was I talking about? I've just completely lost my damn mind, y'all. I have no idea. Normally, I would throw this bait right here out. I normally would, but we're gonna keep it here. I'm also gonna pull my scupper plug. I got some scupper plugs because when you throw in a cast net and you get small shad, they're going down these scupper holes. So I wanted to plug them up, but when we're bringing in fish in the net and stuff, we're going to end up with a bunch of water in the floor potentially. So we may have to pull them out occasionally. I still don't remember. I know he was talking about kayaks and being simple setups versus expensive setups. But I don't remember exactly where I was going with it, or if I had finished that or not. You all are getting one hell of a show today, folks. You're seeing my mental lapses live and in action. I need some ginkgo biloba or something. Oh, big splash. That was a paddlefish, I think. I think it was a paddlefish. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of gray as it was crashing down. I've been seeing some paddlefish lately. They've been coming up and splashing first thing in the mornings. But anyway, I guess we'll go back to the topic. Like, when it comes to kayaks, there's no right or wrong with it. You got to do what makes you happy, what fits in your budget. If you want one with all the bells and whistles, you can certainly do so. If you want to keep it minimal, you can still go out and catch fish. And the one thing that I don't like using all of this stuff on video for is that if a person finds my channel, maybe it may be you watching or listening to this right now potentially, and this is the first video you've ever seen me do, and you see me using this setup, are you going to be more likely to get into kayak fishing or less likely? I would guess most people, if this was the first channel, if they had took an interest in kayak fishing for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe they saw something on TV or another video, maybe they were at the lake and saw somebody in a kayak and they were like, man, that looks fun, let me research that. They stumble across my video and they see me using a high dollar kayak with motors and graphs and yada yada yada. I think more people would be turned off, more new people anyway. Now, people that's already in the sport, I don't think it's going to matter. Or people maybe that, some of you that fish out of boats and for some reason either like me or the videos or whatever and you watch, like, you're not going to be turned off. But I think new people getting into the sport are going to be more likely to be turned away if they think that this is what they're going to have to need or going to have to get to catch fish. Because if somebody's just kind of dipping their toes in the water a little bit, they think they might like kayak fishing, but they're not sure. They don't want to spend a lot of money up front to start a new hobby that they're not 100% convinced they're going to be into. They click on a video like me or somebody else and it's got a high dollar rig set up here with all these gadgets on there, like, well, maybe I won't pursue this. Whereas conversely, they click on one of my videos and maybe I'm in a pedal kayak. I've got a bunch of videos where I've just pedals and no graph and using a cheap dumbbell for an anchor. And I've caught a bunch of fish in those videos doing that. Minimal gear, minimal setup. Well, I think if a person saw that type of video and they're like, wow, all I need is really a kayak and maybe a couple rod holders and something to anchor myself and I'm good to go, that's all I need. Well, I think they're going to be more likely to take the plunge. Now, and granted, I may be in a pedal kayak that's a little bit more expensive, but if you get somebody that's new and they're on a budget, they're probably not going to their local kayak dealer. They're probably going to get on Marketplace or some Facebook group maybe that sells stuff, or I don't know if Craigslist still exists or not, but a long time ago you had sites like Craigslist stuff where you would sell used items. They might be likely to get on there and look around and see what's available. And you can find, you get a pedal kayak that's maybe brand new, it's $3,000. Well, you get one that's a few years old, you're going to get it for $1,500. You can find some deals out there, especially if you're shopping in the off season, in the winter months, when people aren't as inclined to go be in kayaks and stuff. I do it year round, but a lot of people, it's a seasonal thing. It's warm months only. So if a person's new and you can reduce the barrier of entry, I felt the kayak leaning. Here we go, y'all. Got another one on the piece of sucker. Making sure my drag wasn't too tight there. I felt the kayak lean. I wasn't even paying attention. That rod and the kayak started to lean a little bit. Another dink though. Perfect eater size, but not a monster we would like to get hold of today. I'd like to get one 10 times this one's size. Come in here, fish. Act like somebody. Act like you've done this before. He may never have done this before. Apparently, I've never took a hook out of a fish before, so I'm struggling with this one. There we go. There we got it. That's all you get, fish. You ain't big enough for front camera time. He said he'll come back someday when he's big and strong. Oh, another big splash over there. We got some paddlefish around, y'all. Let's try this right here. What did I do? Oh, I pushed that dang button. I accidentally mashed my remote. Am I going to have to? Oh, crap. I've screwed this up, y'all. This is technology at work here. I've messed this up. I mashed a button. I didn't mean to mash a button. It just happened. Accidents happen, folks. Don't follow me. Or don't. That's not what I want. Why is it like that even? Here, let's try that again. I just want to pick one of those. Any one of those. Let's pick it. They're right there near the top. Now we're in bit. Oh, that one got thumped. Did you feel that? Here, let's get this one out of the way real fast, because that one's about to go down. He thumped it, buddy. I felt kabonk. I don't know if you felt it or not, but one of the things about fishing out of a kayak is you can feel it. When they inhale a bait like that, you can feel it reverberate through the kayak. And he did. I'm fiddling with screens right there. Goodness gracious. I don't think he's going to be very big, though. He's the biggest one of the morning. It was a nice thump. The bite was bigger than the fish. At first, I thought it might have been a flathead the way he hit it, but no such luck. Been a minute since I've caught a flathead. He is at least a better quality fish here from what we've been getting. This is I might give this one front camera time. Just because he's the biggest one in the last couple days here. Last couple trips. Let's do that. I need to see if we got this camera mount, if the height is appropriate. So y'all sit up here in the front seat for a minute. Let's see what that looks like up there. There we go. Now I can see myself on the screen. Let me get him unhooked here, and we'll just take a second to give him his moment of fame. Let me get the hook out of him. You got anything you want to say for yourself, fish, since you're about to have this glorious achievement of seeing yourself there on the screen? That's the first time he can see himself on the screen. That's the first time he's ever looked at himself before. They don't have mirrors down there in the catfish world. larger dink, smaller fun size. Choose your own adventure, as Kyle Peterson says. Call him whatever you want to. All right, well, here's the thing. We got one piece of sucker here left in the floor that I was going to put on this. Let me do something with this remote right fast. I need to get it out of the way. Put it somewhere where it ain't mashing buttons. Let's put on this last piece of sucker here on the left rod. And our right rod has the circle hook, the bigger size circle hook, 7/0 size. We'll go ahead and put a piece of chicken on it. The rest of the morning out here, I think, as long as the chicken's getting bit, we'll have a piece of fish and a piece of chicken, since we're doing 2-rod setup. We'll do one of each. So when we run out of our sucker here, when this piece gets eaten, we'll switch over to shad on this rod, and we'll rock the chicken on the other. Unless the chicken just ain't getting bit. We'll let the fish tell us. They definitely like the sucker, though. They've been all about it. Even the ones that ain't been big enough to eat the pieces we've had on, they've been willing to at least come up and hit it. Oh. All that nastiness right there. All them chicken juices. Oh. We got salmonella growing every which way. Catfish like a little seasoning with salmonella there. They told me that. They said it gives it extra flavor if the salmonella's growing on it. Okay. I'm just going to put on a little chicken nugget. It's not a very big piece, but most of them mussel shells, even a bigger mussel shell, you look at the meat inside them, small pieces. It's not big pieces of meat. So I was trying to match what they would get. That screen setup, I've wondered how to find the damn water temperature on this thing. The other screen I was using didn't have the water temperature. It says it's 87 degrees. I believe it too. It feels like daggone bath water, man. Put your hand in that water. I've been wondering what the water temp was. So I got to spend some more time researching this graph and learning everything that it's capable of and how to get the info I want on the screen and not so much of others. Some of them screens kind of cluttered with all the stuff going down the side that I don't need. Anyway, y'all don't care about that. That's a task for another day. We're getting some action out here this morning, though. But anyhow, to finish up on the other topic there, like, what I hope to have happen if new people watch my videos is that they would be encouraged to try. That the barrier to entry would be reduced after watching my videos. And when I'm in a setup like this, while this is great, it's, especially if you're fishing a tournament and you want all the bells and whistles to kind of give you whatever competitive advantage you can get, it's great for that. But I don't think it's good for new people getting into the sport who's looking to maybe keep things simple, just put their toes in the water, and and here's the thing, if a person does take the plunge, maybe they've already bought a kayak and they stumble across my videos because they're wanting to see how to rig it out or how to catch a catfish out of the kayak they already have. Well, I don't want them being discouraged because they see me in a setup like this. I think like when I'm in my Hobie Lynx, which is the kayak I've mostly used the last year or so, and they see me in it and it's just a glorified paddleboard with 2 rod holders, that's it. I think that is more encouraging to them. And, when you see me catch fish in that situation and have success, I think it would maybe be more beneficial to them, and for the sport as a whole, as far as getting more people in. It's easier for me, content-wise, to make more videos in a setup like this. Now, a day like today, where we've got no current and virtually no wind, it don't matter. We could be out here in anything. But you get in a situation where maybe it's a little bit of a windy day, or you've got some faster flow, or maybe it's a day where you got a lot of boat traffic and getting hit with boat wake and stuff. Those situations where you've got tools like this, or a motor that will just drive a certain contour for you, it's a big help as far as catching more fish and getting content. Do you need it to catch fish? No. But as we've talked about a lot, the better the tool is, the easier the job is to do. I can give a carpenter a pile of wood and a hammer, nails, and a hacksaw, and a good carpenter can go out and build you a porch. Will they do it easily? No. Will it be a lot more work and effort? Yeah. But if they're skilled in what they're doing, they can use basic tools and get the job done. But you give that same carpenter that has those skills, you give him better tools. Maybe you give him a power saw and a drill instead of, he's going to go out there and he's going to do the job. He's going to get it done quicker and easier. Same thing with fishing, man. You can take somebody with no fancy electronics, no fancy motors. If they know what they're doing, they're going to be able to catch fish. But you give that same person better tools, well, they're probably going to have an easier time doing it. But for me, I've harped on this a lot. And I know some of you are probably sick of hearing it, but for me, I've gone through phases of this where initially I was one of those people that I just described, dabbling my toes in it. How I got started, I don't know if I've told this story or not. I probably have and don't remember. Y'all know how my memory is these days. But anyhow, how I got started in kayak fishing. So when I started fishing, I was on the bank there certainly initially as a kid and teenager and stuff, but I went from bank fishing to a boat. I got my first boat when I was 17. And then I didn't even get into catfishing at all until I was in my 20s. I fished for bass and bluegill and stuff as a kid, and even after I got my boat, it wasn't until I was in my 20s I started catfishing. But I was already, I had a boat. I went on a trip to Las Vegas. And we went on a tour, a kayak tour below Hoover Dam. And it's one of them deals where you out there in Las Vegas, they'll have a shuttle service, comes picks you up at your hotel that you're staying at there in Las Vegas, and they'll drive you out to the Hoover Dam, and then they'll provide all the kayaks and gear, and you launch there below the dam, and you go downstream a few miles, and then somebody's there to take you out and take you back to the hotel. Well, we're out there making our way down, I believe it's the Colorado River, I believe it is, if memory serves me. But it's absolutely beautiful. And this is about 20 years ago, so this was back when they actually had some water out there. Below the dam, you see pictures of it now, water's way down. But we're floating down the river there, having a good time, just sightseeing. If something hits our left rod over here. Has he got it? He ain't pulling it hard. I fear we're wasting our piece of sucker here on a small, tiny... Okay, good, he let it go. I didn't want to waste that bait on a fish that small. Anyhow, we're out there on the Colorado River, and we're just sightseeing. We would get out, the guide that was doing the trip, we would get out periodically and either go see something on the shoreline, or there was one area that had some hot springs we went up to and had a little short hike, and you could sit there in the hot springs. It was a very nice, a nice trip. If you're going out to Las Vegas and you want to get some time away from the casinos, a family activity, something like that, check out those guided kayak tour. I don't remember the name of the company. It's been so long ago. Hell, they might not even be in business anymore, but I'm sure there's other companies doing the same thing. So it's if you're in that area and you want something fun, family friendly to do, highly recommend it. It was a great trip. Anyhow, we're out there drifting along, sightseeing, and the whole time I'm thinking, like, man, how much fun would it be to catch a fish in one of these things? So I come back home, and I don't know anything about kayak. That was the first time I'd ever been in a kayak in my life. I didn't know anything about what brand was good, what I needed to look for, none of that stuff. I was completely ignorant. And of course, back then, you didn't have as many kayak options as you do today. The kayak fishing trend, or whatever you want to call it, hadn't really gotten going yet. Some people were doing it, but it wasn't as mainstream. It wasn't as widespread back then. So there just wasn't as many kayak options. Most back then, if you found a quote unquote fishing kayak, all it meant was it was just a regular kayak, and it had a couple of these molded in rod holders here. That was the only thing that separated a regular kayak from a fishing kayak, was molded in rod holders. And everything was DIY. You'd get you a plastic milk crate to store your tackle. You would just mount stuff on your kayak any which way you could. Everything was just redneck DIY. There wasn't many kayak accessories because there wasn't a demand for them back then. So I come home and I want to get me a kayak and put some rod holders on it, go catfishing in it. Well, I don't know what to get. So I get the one that's on sale at Dick's Sporting Goods. And that kayak, it was initially fun for 30 minutes. But very quickly after that, your butt would be on fire, man. The way, because it was just, basically, you had a thin pad sitting on the floor of the kayak. It was a sit-inside kayak. So it was really uncomfortable. Your butt was wet the whole time. The kayak was unstable. Not very durable either. Of course, I didn't know that at the time. But it would be fun for the first 30 minutes to an hour, and then my butt would be hurting so bad. I'm like, this ain't fun anymore. But I was catching enough fish. I had them rod holders just jimmy rigged on. It's a wonder I didn't lose the whole rod and rod holder and everything. It was DIY MacGyver at its best. But it got me on the water in it, and I was having enough fun with the fish I was catching that we're about to maybe catch one right here. Speak of the devil. He nipped that chicken. Guess he thought better of it. But I was having enough fun with that kayak that I thought, man, if I could just get something that was a little bit more comfortable, I would enjoy this so much more. So I looked around, and at the time, really, you had, as far as fishing kayaks go, you had Native and you had Hobie. Now, Old Town has been around. I'm in an Old Town kayak now. They've been around since like the 1800s. But as far as fishing kayaks go, they didn't have fishing, to my knowledge anyway, they didn't have fishing kayaks back then. They had regular kayaks. And in fact, if memory serves me, I think we were in an Old Town kayak out there and on that trip below Hoover Dam. But it was like a sit-inside recreational type kayak. But anyway, I did some research, and I found that the Native Ultimate, it was a sit-inside kayak, had a different hull design, had like a rounded pontoon style hull, made it more stable. And people were taking the seats in that Native Ultimate and raising them up to make them sit higher. They were using like pieces of PVC and raising them up. And so I ended up looking around on Craigslist at the time. This was back before Marketplace existed. And I found a good deal on a used one. So I bought it. Built me up PVC seat riser, raised up the seat, and I started fishing that thing. And I ended up fishing out of that particular kayak for like 6 years. Just paddling. No motors. No pedals. Just a paddle. And I had so much fun in that thing. It was a huge difference in catching fish in that kayak versus catching them in the boat I had at the time. I had a little, it was called a Sea Arc McBass 160. That was the boat I had. It was basically like a bass tracker, aluminum bass boat type deal, 16 foot long, and had a little 40 horse motor on it. And that thing, after I got the kayak, well, at least after I got the native kayak anyway, like it was, oh, the rod got hit. Take that thing down for us. Now he's going to take it down, all right. Oh, he just come free. Did he break us off? He broke our leader. That's an odd place for the leader to break right there. I wonder if we didn't have a weak spot or something. I didn't change out our leaders yesterday, folks. We're rocking the same leaders today as we had on yesterday. Dadgummit, though, I hate to break off a leader. Fortunately, I got plenty more retied, or pre-tied. Retied, pre-tied, they're tied, damn it. I can't get my words out. My camera bag, my purse as I call it, because it looks like a dang purse. I may have to go buy some more of these 7/0 size circle hooks. You know, when a leader gets broke off like that, I almost wonder if it ain't something toothy like a gar or something. Bites it and cuts the line like that. I may be falsely accusing a gar, but when we're in this shallower water, it's certainly a possibility. Deeper water, if we were fishing the bottom of this drop, we wouldn't have any issues with gar. They ain't gonna be down that deep. But up here this shallow, it could be a potential situation. And of course, they got all them teeth. They come up and chomp a bait and this thinner line, and well, you've lost your whole hook and leader and everything. All right, grab you another piece of chicken here, and we're good to go. Oh, I just got that dang chicken juice all over everything behind me there. Ugh. There'll be flies all over this kayak this afternoon. They'll be enjoying the feast. Go. I think we probably ought to think about switching that other bait out too. It was just that little tiny tail piece that was left of that sucker. We may go ahead and put on a shad head on that thing. I just don't like tail pieces. No matter what the bait is, I just don't have a great deal of confidence in the tails. The heads, yes. The piece right behind the head, absolutely. The tails, for me, I don't have a great deal of confidence in them. So let's grab us a shad. We'll rotate on the shad. We'll start with the head. It gets eat, we'll put a chunk on. Just go back and forth, heads and chunks. At least until we figure out if there's a preference being shown. We'll leave the chicken on for now, as long as it's getting hit. If it don't get hit and the shad is getting more attention, then we'll mix it up, certainly. Not committed to anything out here other than just working this top edge of this flat today. That's the only commitment I'm making. As far as bait goes, we'll try to adapt to the fish. But yeah, I had that little Sea Arc aluminum bass boat, and it was just sitting there at the porch, on the carport at the house, because when I was going fishing, I was taking the dang kayak. I finally got to the point, I'm like, what the hell do I need this boat for? I was having so much fun fishing out of that native ultimate kayak, because I was having the fun of kayak fishing, but I was comfortable in it. The seat, being able to raise it up and being a better quality seat, it was night and day difference over that little cheap one I had from Dick's Sporting Goods. And of course, fast forward to today, now there's kayak fishing's exploded in popularity. You've got a ton more options out there, and a person getting into the sport now has better quality options at cheaper prices than, comparatively speaking. Things have certainly went up with inflation over time, but like when I was searching for either a Hobie or a native back in those days, you would see one or two on Craigslist within a reasonable drive of you. Now you get on Marketplace and you will see 50 kayaks in your neighborhood for sale. Like, it's just, there's a lot more options available now for you in the used market to be able to find a deal and stuff. But like what I was getting at with this whole shebang here was that the point was, like, I was one of those people back in the day who was kind of dabbling into kayak fishing, didn't know anything about it, didn't know what to buy or where to look or what I needed. And if YouTube, of course, I guess YouTube was technically, it had just started back then. Like, YouTube wasn't on my radar back then, and there for sure wasn't no kayak fishing channels back then. But if there had have been a YouTube and kayak fishing channels and all that, if I was in that same situation, I just try to put myself in their shoes. Like, if I was in that situation and I was thinking about doing it, and I get online and I'm like, oh my God, I got to have this kind of kayak to catch a fish, and I've got to put on a motor and high dollar electronics and all that. Like, I just wouldn't have done it. And what a shame that would be. What a shame. I mean, I would have missed out on so much fun. This has turned into a job for me. That wouldn't have happened. I mean, who knows? Maybe I would have been able to pull it off in a boat. And of course, a boat would certainly have a bigger audience pool than what, kayak fishing channel has. So maybe things would have still worked out for me like they did, but I wouldn't have had near as much fun, because catching fish in a kayak, even a stable kayak like this, it's still more fun, in my opinion, than catching them in a boat. And you certainly, if you're somebody that's bank fishing, your options as far as accessing water, very limited. Whereas you get a boat or kayak, your range just opens up greatly. This fish has got that dang looked at. He's took that shad head and swam all the way out to the left. There, he let it go, I think. He's back on it. I look over, my line is at an angle way out there. My rod I'm going to pick up on this thing. I don't know if he's got it. If he had it, he let it go. I want you to holler down there at that fish. Tell him if he ain't going to eat it, leave it alone. We don't want none of that nonsense going on. But yeah, like, anyway, finish up on the story none of y'all care about. I just try to put myself in these new people's shoes, and if I had watched a video like this today and seen somebody in this setup, I would have been turned off. Whereas if I tune in and see somebody like in one of my other setups, or a day where I've kept everything simple and just a kayak, a couple rod holders, and a dumbbell for an anchor, I would have been far more likely to jump in. So you know, I want to find that balance, you know. Like I want an option like this for tournaments and rougher weather days, but I'm at a point in life too where I want to spend more time in a simpler, smaller setup. And this fish is back on it again. Or a different one. Either way, y'all, this is a little better one here. This is a little better one. This is a better fish. He's down and staying down. It's a blue, he just rolled. But it's at least a better fish. This is going to be the biggest one of the morning for sure. If you can land him. I'm putting a lot of faith in you right now to be able to land this fish, but he's a better one. Yes, sir, buddy. We're due for a good fish. We are most definitely due. The last few trips have been dinks. This morning, dinks. This one, at least going to be an upgrade. I still ain't got to look at him. We've got several feet of visibility of water. So we get him up here, we should be able to see him. We're 22 feet here right now at the moment where we're at. Yeah, that's a decent fish right there. He'll get some front camera. Oh, he's got one with him too. He's got two fish with him. Look at this. There's two with him. Let me get him back up here. Two fish came up with him. Comparable size. Oh, they seem to be gone now. A whole daggone... Oh no, one of them's back. Let me stand up here. Try to get a better angle. I don't see them now. There were two more though that came with him. Get over here, fish. I want to drop bait down to your friends. Yeah. I'm going to hold you up for some front camera time. You're actually front camera worthy. That's a quality fish right there, man. That ain't bad at all. Here's what I want to do. I want to get him unhooked. And I'm going to put this other bait on that we got right here in the floor with this body section. I'm going to go ahead and get it ready. And we're going to drop it right down there to his friends if they're still around. Where's that hook at there, sir? Oh, no, he's got that thing kind of deep. Crap. Terrible timing, fish. Yeah, he's hooked too deep. I can't risk that without possibly hurting him. Crap. Well, that's going to cost us some time. I was hoping to drop right back down. I hate that. We gut hooked one yesterday too. That's unfortunate when that happens. I hate that. And we finally get a decent one too, by gosh. And that happens. And the camera's crooked. We're batting 1,000, y'all. But at least we got a little bit better fight, a little bit more fun, a little bit better quality. We'll send him on. Let's tie us another daggone leader on there. Dadgummit. Always something, man. Never daggone fails. Let me get the camera back. Put you all back here in the chest. Let's get our bag back out here. Here, these are these bigger hooks again. Let me just go ahead and get one of these. I hate that though. I hate it where that fish had two friends with him. I'd like to have caught both of them because they were both looked like to be same size, and we're probably already quarter mile away from them at this point. Time we get this dang leader tied on. Crapola, man. Throw that up there. I'm gonna lose them swivels. I'd like to reuse them. Crap. I can't believe y'all done that. We had a golden opportunity there. Although them fish were around, you would have thought they would have maybe chose, one of them maybe would have chose the chicken. They didn't. All right. We at least retied here. Let's trim this tag end of the line and drop that bait on there, and we'll see what's around. It gives me a smidge of hope, though, as a better quality fish. A little bit better there, y'all. Let me snip this fin, too. I don't like how that fin is right there by that hook point. That's all we need for that thing to cover the hook point and cost us the fish. There we go. Now we're ready to drop down. Probably need to reel our chicken up too, make sure it's still on there. Okay. Yeah, chicken's still on. Send it back down. Well, at least, if nothing else, things didn't, that series of events there didn't go how I would have drew it up in my mind. But we at least got a decent quality fish. It was a nice fight. It was enjoyable. So, we at least got that. Yeah, to finish this topic up that nobody cares about, like, I've gone through a progression in my life from simple, minimal, to with the Dick's Sporting Goods, to slightly more complicated with the Native Ultimate, which even it was a pretty simple setup. I mean, I was paddling. I had a little cheapo graph on it, rod holders, like, it was pretty basic. And then I went up to the Hobie Outback and then the Hobie Pro Angler, and then you start adding gadgets, and now I'm circling back to a more simpler time. And I think simple is best most of the time. If you're going to be a tournament fisherman, you're going to be competing for money against people who have all the fancy tools. You're probably going to want the fancy tools as well. But if you're just going out, like 99% of people, and fun fishing, you can keep things simple and have a realistic chance of catching fish and have you a good time. Because that's what it's about. It's about having fun. It's not about catching the most fish or the biggest fish necessarily. You obviously want to. I mean, you want to catch a bunch of fish. You want to hopefully catch big fish pretty regularly. I mean, that just adds to the fun, but you're not in a competition. Unless you're in a tournament, you're not in a competition. There we go. There we go. The body section. Well, it's 2 in a row now on the shad. Chicken ain't getting touched over there all of a sudden. If we catch a third in a row on the shad, you know what we're going to do? We're going to switch that chicken out. That's what we're going to do. Come over here. We still got the stuffing in that bait right there too. We'll reuse it. We don't have to be too conservative with bait today, but if we end up having plenty left, I'm going to use that tomorrow. All right. There you go, buddy. Old skinny old dink. A little bit smaller than that other one we caught, but you know what? It's another bite. It's action. Just go in the belly like that on it. Send it right back down. He didn't even get any of the stuffing out of there. Old fish, he really missed out, didn't he? That body section, you drop it down, sometimes that sinker will get down there before it does, and you got to catch up with your line. Oh, slime off that net too. The hell was I talking about? I've lost my train of thought again. We've been talking about kayaks, and I know y'all are sick of it anyway. I think I was talking about just the, keeping things simple and that's what I was talking about. But the competition that we do with ourselves, you see it on social media play out all the time. People are comparing themselves to others, and they're not in a tournament competing against each other, but yet they still feel compelled to be like, well, I went out today and I didn't do any good, so this person's done better than me. So then they get on there and they start yip-yapping in the comments and stuff on somebody else's. And it's like, you can tell sometimes when you read people's comments and stuff, there'll be some bitterness, some jealousy or whatever. And it's like, man, you're comparing, when you're scrolling through social media, and if your algorithm's like mine, it's going to be fish, right? Because it's what I'm doing here. It's what I'm posting. So naturally, these algorithms think that's what I want to see. So I see a lot of fish stuff. And what happens is let's say we go out today and we're catching some fish out here this morning, but let's say we didn't. We didn't do any good. We had maybe a lousy day, or didn't catch many fish, didn't catch any big fish, whatever. And we go home, you get on social media and you start seeing all these big fish pop up on your screen. We're about to see a fish over here pop up on real life on that shad. We're going to switch that chicken out on the other side. We're going to go with a shad head and a shad body section for a little while. This 3 in a row on the shad. Oh, well, I say that, and there goes the chicken. Let's set him back as he splashes me. We just went through a school here. This one wanted the chicken. Maybe we will stick with the chicken for a minute. Over there on the other side got me sopping wet. Come on up, buddy. Let's just bring you in first. Bring him on down. This fish says he compares himself to people on social media too. You shouldn't do that, fish. You're comparing, the point I was trying to get in all that, before these fish interrupt us, is that you're comparing your average day, or maybe even your bad day, to somebody's highlight, to their best day. Because people ain't posting bad stuff about themselves on social media. They're not posting about getting skunked or catching 1 or 2 small fish. They're going to post the days where they've tore them up and had good days and stuff. So you can't compare your bad day to everybody else's good day, but that's what we do. That's human nature. I'm guilty of it. Hell, I can't tell you how many times I've stunk it up, and like this fish here, he stinks it up every day. But I go out and I have a lousy fishing session, and I blame everything like a good fisherman does. Hell, I blame the weather and the current flow. Too much current, not enough current. Too much wind, not enough wind. I mean, hell, any excuse I can come up with, it's always, hell, I even blame you all most of the time, just to have somebody to throw under the bus for why we can't catch fish. And then you go home and you look on social media and you're like, well, hell far, that person done good today. I couldn't buy a fish. This person over here, they said they caught 20 today, or they caught a daggone monster or something, And you get in your own head with it, and it's like, you can't do that. And it's human nature to do it, but it's like, why do we do that? The goal, unless you're in a tournament and actually competing against that person that you're seeing post the pictures there on social media, like, who cares? Like, the goal when you leave your house should be to have fun. Go out and enjoy your day on the water. Now, if you're doing what you like, hopefully the fish you catch will be a bonus. If you're specifically somebody that's maybe like just a trophy hunter, you only care about big fish, well, If you don't catch big fish and that's your only goal, then, well, I guess, there ain't much you can do but have a bad day if you don't get them. But the goal should be to have fun, is what I'm getting at. And you can sabotage yourself. Also, the social media has been great in a lot of ways, man. We have access to people and information in real time that we've never had before. It has made tons of people, myself included, it's given people like myself opportunities to do what you love as a job. I mean, at what point in history could a person make a living doing something that they love without having to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say make a living without working, because doing social media at a high level, there's more to it than just posting videos, folks. There is. But historically speaking, for you to have a job, a way to make a living doing something you love, you would have had to have either sold a product or provided a service in some way that you would receive compensation for, right? That's historically how it would have worked. Nowadays, because of social media, whatever your hobby is, I don't care how small of a niche, whatever the word. This fish over here, he's got a hobby of eating pieces of shad, because we had it on, we got him. But we're going through some fish here. We're all of a sudden getting them pretty quickly. That's a few fish here, just wham, bam, bam, 24 feet deep. Again, 87 degree water temps according to this. I'm seeing some schools of shad there higher up in the water column on the screen. Well, we're going through some fish, buddy. Get your net on this one over here. Let's go ahead and scoop him up. No, that was uncalled for. No need to act that way, fish. He's halfway hanging out the net there. He's this fish. Oh, or the rod's got fish on over there. Grab that rod. Oh, he let it go. Never mind. False alarm. What have you done, fish? He got all wrapped up in that net, didn't he? Oh, quit it. This fish don't know how to act like somebody, does he? Well, he has got that line. You can wait your turn, fish. We got another one on right here on this head. Boy, we're going through them, man. One on the chunk and one on the head. We may stick with the shad for a little while here. Give that chicken a break. It's definitely outperforming the chicken day. In recent trips has been the opposite. The chicken, I feel like, has gotten more action than the shad. But right now, that's not the case. Yeah. Oh, he's got one with him too. Can you see that? I hope that shows up on water. His tail just come up over there. That's twice now that's happened this morning where another fish has followed him up. Come here, fish. I want to get another bait down there for your friends. In fact, before we land, your other friend over here, oh, boy, he's hell-bent on getting me sopping wet. Did he get water all over the camera, too? You all dodge it every time somehow. I don't know how you do it. Let me get another shad. We're going to go ahead and drop back down before we land that fella. I'm going to try to work efficiently here if we can. There we go. Send this down, and then we will land fish number 2 of the double. Yeah, once again today, so far, we've only had one fish of decent quality. But boy, we're getting a ton of action, buddy. Ton of action. Especially here the last few minutes. Okay. Bring him over here. Got him. I like reeling in fish. Do you like being reeled in, Mr. Blue Cat? He says not so much. He said he tried to resist best he could, but there ain't no resisting. Kind of like us getting on social media and comparing ourselves to others. There's no resisting it. We know we shouldn't, but we do. Got all wrapped up in it there. Let's get that free. There we go. Another old eater size. Old sandwich maker right there. Not the people at Subway. This one's already getting hit. We just let the fish number 2 of the double go. I think he stole our bait. Look at this. Look at this. We've got a yellow, I guess a yellow bass tried to eat our piece of shad. That's a first. But sure enough, we pulled that thing up, buddy. This is an unedited video. You're seeing it live, just like nobody would have believed that. If I wasn't leaving the camera rolling nonstop, nobody would have believed it. But you know what I'm about to do? Your day's about to get worse, yellow bass. I caught some of these in a cast net yesterday. I had to throw them back. But today, I just caught you on rod and reel, buddy, hook in the mouth. I'm going to give you Finn a little haircut. I'll give that a little cut there too. Let's drop us down a live bait. Let's just see what he'll do for us. Oh, well, let's try that again. I'm going to go right through the back, kind of, right behind the head. It's typically how I like to hook larger live baits like that. Yeah, let's send him down. Let's send him down. He might get gobbled up, folks. I mean, I can't say I've ever caught a yellow bass on a catfish rig before, but it just happened. It just happened right here in front of us. Get down there and get him set. Okay. All right. Well, we'll put our shad head here on this one. So now we got a cut bait and a live bait. Let's get our net out the way too. Hell, our net's hit the graph apparently. Brought something up on it. Let's turn that off. We may not do any good on that live bait, but hell, we might. If he don't catch us nothing in the next hour or so, we'll just cut him up and work him into the repertoire as far as cut bait goes. He's so good and lively though. Them yellow bass are good hardy baits, man. They do good as live baits. They get down there and kick around a lot, and I like them. Get some of that water out here. You know, I may just leave that one scupper, and I may just take all these out for the time being. Get some of this water out. Every time we bring a net in, we're bringing in water. I mainly only need them scuppers just for the days I'm netting shad, and I don't want them going down them scupper holes. Yeah, we're going through some fish, buddy. I like it. That's fun reeling in fish, especially when you're getting doubles and such, and then having another fish hit before you can even get the second fish of the double undone. But yeah, folks, just finishing up on that. Like, you gotta focus on fun. Fishing's supposed to be fun. And when you introduce competition to it, it can still be fun. Like if you're in a tournament and you got some camaraderie amongst your friends there and competing against each other and stuff, it can still be fun in that situation. But when you are competing with people online on social media, and this is true not just in fishing, but in any aspect of life. This fish, that might be a better one right there. There's at least a nice takedown here. He's going to run a little bit. Definitely a blue. I feel him flip-flopping around down there. Oh, put this one back though, because our yellow bass got hit. Something got our yellow bass. Oh, buddy. Something ate our yellow bass. Down he goes. I don't think it's going to be a very big fish though. It's not. It's look what ate our yellow bass. Oh, there's a bigger one with it. There's a bigger one with it right there. You see him? You see him right here? Let me stand up. There's a bigger fish. He's still right there. He's right there under him. Where did he go? Is he still around? They're over there. Here comes a school of them. Look at this. Look at this. There's two of them right here. There's another one back there. Oh man, y'all, that was something. Boy, he just devoured that dang yellow bass. That was a pretty big live bait too. I mean, you saw that yellow bass. He was probably, I don't know, 8 inches. So I mean, for this size of fish right here, that was something, folks. That was something. I'm wondering, all that crap right there on the screen, I'm wondering if all that's cats right there. Right there along the bottom. I'm wondering if that's what those are. If this fella here will get unwrapped from the net and get himself unhooked, we'll find out. We know he's got a few friends with him. Boy, you are all wrapped up in that net, sir. Let's let you go on this side. Here, before we land this other one, let's just go ahead and me and you cut another shad up and get it dropped down. Let's do it. Boy, that's exciting, y'all. I wasn't sure if that yellow bass, being as big as he was, would work out or not today, but boy, it only took a few minutes. A few minutes and he was gobbled up. Oh. All right. Down this one goes. What do you want to make a wager right now that this gets eat before we can get the other one landed and unhooked? If somebody will take that bet, I'll make that wager, because I think it's gonna happen. Where's this fish at? Hell, he's over here on the other side of the dang motor. Get your fish over here. Come over here, fish. Get back over here this way. What do you think you're doing? He's hell-bent on getting in that dang motor, ain't he? He wants to try. He said, I'll unhook myself. He said, Justin, if you ain't going to unhook me in a timely manner, I'll just run that line across the prop and free myself up. Look at this. Look at this other fish over here. Look at him. He's right here by this one. I'll be damned. Boy, I mean, this is something. We got something crazy happening here, folks. That happens occasionally. But, I mean, we're getting numerous times now. Oh, there it goes. I told you. I told you. I told you this one would get eaten. No time flat. But, I mean, we're having fish come up numerous times. That's something. You know what it kind of reminds me of, and I know this ain't the case. I don't know, maybe it is these smaller fish, but like in the spring, this fish here, he must not have no friends. I don't see nobody with him. you know, in the spring when the carp spawn, you will see them swimming beside each other, thrashing around, doing their spawning. I wonder if these smaller juvenile cats like this, if they're doing some kind of similar behavior, even though they don't spawn like that. Who knows? But it's just weird it keeps happening. Like I said, you see it every once in a while, and usually they'll be trying to fight for a bait. Like I had a video on my channel a few years ago where I was reeling in a flat. I can't remember if I was reeling in a flathead and a blue came up, or if I was reeling in a blue and a flathead came up. But it was trying to steal the bait out of its mouth that was hanging outside of its mouth. And they were both pretty good sized fish. But I mean, it keeps happening here. I mean, it keeps happening this morning. This is incredible. All right, let's get this one landed over here before the next rod goes down, which hopefully won't be long. What an awesome day so far, buddy. I wonder if you can grab a net, would you? Well, I'll just grab him like this. There we go. Finally got him. Get on out here. We're going to catch you friends. We're about to catch one right now. I felt him hit it. Let me get another bait on here while he's deciding if he wants to take that rod down or not. I thought he hit it. Well, my line is kind of at an angle. I think he maybe does have it. He's just sitting there with it or something. Let's get this one. Let's go ahead and just get this thing cut up and ready, because we're going to need both pieces in no time at all. Yeah, I think he's got it over there. Let's get this one down. Boy, we're on them, man. We're on them. We're on them, y'all. This is fun. This kind of bite don't happen all the time where you just shellacking them like this. We've just gone through them here, I reckon. All the way up the last little while. I almost think we should maybe hit spot lock and set here, but at the same time too, the fish we're getting have mostly been small, so part of me thinks that we should keep going. Boy, this bait's chewed up. Let's go ahead and switch that out, because he's beat the stuffing out of it. But it's like, if we stop here, I think we could probably just keep whacking them and sit here and spot lock. But then if we do that and they're all this size, maybe we miss an opportunity at a monster if we keep making our way along. I could make an argument for it either way. You don't leave fish to go find fish, but at the same time too, if you're not finding the size of the fish you want, I say we keep moving. Just keep following that contour for the time being. Maybe a situation too with our baits moving. Maybe that's triggering some bites possibly too. I don't know. Man, boy, business picked up though, didn't it? All of a sudden, man, we just went through them. That was fun. That's fun like that, y'all. See, this is what fish is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. Now, we can go on social media right now, and somebody's probably already caught more and bigger fish than us, but it don't matter, because we're having fun in the moment. That was what I was trying to get at before all these fish interrupted us. Like, enjoy yourself. Life is short. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you fun, or that you have fun with. And if you have the aptitude or the willingness to film whatever it is that you enjoy, you have an opportunity to turn that into a job, to make a living off of it, because social media, through all of its flaws, and Lord knows there's a bunch of flaws, social media pisses me off on the regular, but it has allowed people like me and countless others the opportunity to do something you love and get paid for it without having to sell a product or provide a service. And I guess in a roundabout way, we are providing a service because we're creating this fish is providing a service for me to reel him in. He's going to pull too. You want to place a wager whether he's got a friend with him or not? Normally, on most trips, if we wagered such a thing, it would be long shot odds. But today, it's almost a 50-50 chance of whether we're going to pull him up and he's going to have 2 or 3 fish with him. That's the damnedest thing. I'm blown away by it. Oh, there goes our other one. One of y'all reel in that fish. I'm going to deal with the one in the hand. Y'all reel that one in. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on the bottom of the ledge right now today. But I'd be willing to bet you there's no way in hell we'd be catching as many fish on the bottom of the ledge. Sure enough, here's one with him. He's right there. He just went under the kayak that way. See if he comes back around. He's gone, I reckon. Let's set him back in the rod holder and reel in his friend. We're still on them, buddy. This whole daggone flat in this section right through here is loaded with fish. And I'm wondering if all that right there on the bottom of the screen is cats. Y'all. This one's a little bit smaller. I don't see anything. I don't see any fish coming up with him. This one ain't got no friends. This one here, he's got a bad attitude, I reckon, and nobody wants to be around him. See you, buddy. He gone. Let's go ahead and get another bait and drop down before we reel in his friend. This one's a little bit smaller shad here. I guarantee you we'll get it eat though. Yeah, the shad. You know, the chicken was getting messed with, but we had like that one stretch there. It's 3-to-1 on the shad to the chicken. So I just switched over here and we'll keep it going. Down it goes. All right. Oh, it's fun, y'all. What a hell of a bite. Boy, imagine this. Imagine if we had this kind of bite with big fish. What a day that would be. We'd be wore out. I'm going to go ahead and net this one. Fish, do you have any hobbies you put on social media that you might could earn a little scratch for? This fish, he got one hobby, eating. He said that's all he does. I guarantee you somebody'd watch you eat though, fish. If you'd film it, somebody'd watch you. People will watch anything. May not be millions of people watch, but somebody would. I promise you. But yeah, y'all, like, the beauty of social media is you can take somebody like me who has the personality about the equivalent of gravel in your driveway. I mean, I'm not Mr. Social, Mr. Personality here at all. I'm pretty antisocial for the most part. Unless you're a hot-ass woman, I probably don't want to talk to you. Don't tell my wife I said that. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm not somebody that's typical of social media, but I have a hobby. I like catching fish out of a kayak. I started filming it. I put it on social media. Seems like the blink of an eye. I just fall ass backwards into it, really. But, you know, it turns into a job, a business. And you see it across the board, across social media. A lot of people. It don't matter if it's fishing or, you know, I'll tell you an example. So I come across a page a while back, because those of you who have been fishing with me on these videos lately, you know, I've been going through a midlife crisis the last couple of years, and I've gotten into action figures pretty hardcore again. And, of course, there's like toy review channels and things like that, action figure reviews. I referenced Kyle Peterson there earlier. I watch his stuff all the time. When a new action figure comes out, he'll buy it, review it, etc. He's a pretty entertaining dude. But I come across another channel recently. I done forgot the name of it now. Hell, I'd shout him out. But anyway, the guy's whole social media was him playing with G.I. Joes. Like, he's a grown-ass adult, and he's not just collecting G.I. Joes for a hobby. He's not, like displaying them in his house. Hell no, he's taking them outside, building forts with them, just like I did when I was a kid, having battle scenes and all that, and filming himself doing that. And he had a pretty good following, too. And, of course, people like me grew up in the 80s, played with G.I. Joes. I see him playing with them, and, my first thought is, like, boy, what a weirdo. And my second thought is, like, boy, that looks fun. Because I've been into action figures pretty hardcore the last couple of years as I've went through my midlife crisis, but the thing I've struggled with is recapturing the imagination to be able to play with them again. Or to, like, have battles and build forts and do all that stuff we did easily as kids without even thinking about it. Now as an adult, it's like my imagination it's gone. I can't do that anymore. You can't bring it back, can't recapture it. But this guy did. And he goes and builds all these elaborate things out in his yard. And hell, at one point he had built a Cobra Commander, there's fortress around there, had a moat around it. He had dug a trench, took a water hose, and filled in a damn trench and made a moat. And he's making money on that. Like, dude likes G.I. Joes, the old ones from the 80s, not the new ones, but the old ones. And he has a big collection of them, and he just takes them out in his yard and plays with them and films himself doing it and makes money. Like, you can do literally anything on social media, and these algorithms will find an audience for you. Like, whatever it is you're into. Maybe it's catching fish like we're about to do, because this one got nipped over here. And there it goes. He's wanting a little tug on it. Let's go ahead and just grab that rod one time and stick him. But if you want, well, he's going to take our bait. He took our hook. We just broke off. But we've had some break-offs today. That makes me angry. I don't want to lose another hook. Maybe we'll get this one over here. This fish says he's going to try to get him a souvenir hook too. Oh, look at that. Look at that. They're fighting over it. Let's see if he'll come back and eat that bait. He just knocked it out of his mouth. There you get it. He snatched it. He snatched it right there in front of us. It happened. I saw him come up there trying to eat it out of his mouth, and he ended up getting it. This fish got the hook, and his friend got the meal. What craziness is that? Incredible. I hope I had the camera pointing the right way to see it. If this camera wasn't rolling nonstop, nobody would believe it. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Let's, here. Let me just get another leader tied on. Let me pull out. Let me get some of these. I know if we drop another bait down before we tie on a leader, I'm going to be mid-knot and the next rod's going to go down. So I'm going to get our leader tied on before I do that. I just tied up some more leaders the other day, but the pace we're on, I'm going to have to tie up some more. It's going to be this weekend's project, apparently. Unreal, man. These fish are so aggressive today. They are literally fighting each other for baits. Unreal, man. But yeah, it doesn't matter what your hobby is. You may not have millions of people willing to watch whatever it is you do. I mean, maybe whatever it is you do is really small, and maybe it's not interesting to a large number of people. But whatever your audience size is, it ain't going to be zero. You're not going to post. I mean, sure, when you first start, you may not get very many views because, one, you may be in a small niche, you're new. The algorithm may not know how to serve your videos up to the right people, may not know who to serve them to. But if you stick with it over time, you're going to start getting views. Now, will it be millions of views? Well, most likely not, statistically speaking, probably not. Is it going to be 0 views? No. You're going to get some views. Now, it may not necessarily be enough to make any money or any significant money with it. But if it is, if it does turn out to be, and of course, I mean, you take something like this, catching catfish out of a kayak, like, I have a pretty big following now. I get quite a few views now. But when I started this mess, man, there wasn't hardly anybody that catfished out of a kayak. There was a handful of people in the country doing it at the time. I mean, this was ooh, he hit it. He hit it when it hit bottom. He smacked it. Didn't get it though. But I mean, there was a handful of people in the country doing it. It was a niche of a niche of a niche. There, he got it in. He got it in. He's running, buddy. Let's get this one dropped down, and then y'all pick up on it over there. He's still running with it, man. Get that rod. I want to get this bait set. Okay, now we're ready to get him. Boy, this has turned into a catching trip, y'all. This has turned into just nothing but catching, and I think all of that right there on the screen is cats. That's what I think they are. We had this fish give us the whole fight before we ever picked up the rod. The whole daggone fight was over before y'all ever picked up on it. He's gonna be better quality than some of them we've gotten for sure. Question is, will he have some friends with him? I'm inclined to think he just might. That other one, though, got him a free meal. We saw him snatch that bait out of his mouth, knock it off the hook, and then come back and get it. Man, oh man. I'm having fun, y'all. I'm enjoying myself today. I always do, but especially today. I think this is at least probably going to be a fun sizer here. Feels pretty good. Definitely had a nice run to start the fight. I ain't got to look at him yet, though. Should be any time. Yeah, that's a fun sizer right there. He'll get him a little front camera time. Yeah. Oh, he's got an even bigger one right there with him. 2 more. One was bigger, one was smaller. They were both right there coming up with him. Unbelievable, man. This fish is a good one. That first one I saw was slightly bigger, and then the other one slightly smaller. Let's see if they're still around. Yeah. I'm gonna stand up. He's still with him right there. Look at him. There, look at him. He just come right up to the surface. He come right up here and looked at us. There's a whole school of them right there under us. They followed him all the way up. Unbelievable, man. This is the damnedest thing that it just keeps happening. I have no idea what's causing this, but this here's a good one. Let's get him in the net, folks. Let's get him in there. I missed him. I still can't net a fish worth a damn. Oh, got him then. This one's definitely front camera worthy. Biggest one over the last few trips right here, folks. This one's the biggest one in a while. You know what would be fun? Let's try something. Let's have some fun here, folks. I want to try something. I want to. This is going to be stupid what I'm about to do. Let's get the picture of this one first, though, because this is a nice fish right here. This is a good quality one right here, man. This one right here gets me excited. I'll take them like this any day of the week. Okay. Let me put you all up here in the front seat. There we go. Turn that screen on where I can see something and get this out of the way. And I'm going to hold this one up, y'all. Nice. Nice fish right there. That one's the biggest one in the last few trips. Nice. All right, we'll see you, buddy. He was a good time. Unfortunately, most of the fight was over before we ever picked up on the rod. Here's what I want to do, though. We got all these fish. They're following them up right to the surface. And granted, we're 22 feet deep. Our lines, we got 20 foot of line out. I think we're about to put a bait down just under the surface here. And boy, if we get a takedown with about 5 foot of line out, woo, hold on, buddy. You just hang on, because it is going to get real, man. That's exactly what we're about to do. We'll have one bait down there near bottom and one up here just under the surface. And maybe when them other fish come up with the fish we're reeling in off bottom, they'll hit one that's barely under the surface here, and we will get one hell of a fight. We're about to do it, buddy. We are about to do this. It may not work out, but we're going to try it. Because they're literally fighting over the bait every time they come up. So if we have another bait here, yeah, let's just set that up. I mean, it is right there under the surface. I mean, that one fish literally brought his head up out of the water right here beside us. No fear whatsoever. Let me just check this bait, make sure we still got bait on there. The fact it ain't got hit is, yeah, it's still on there. Okay. All right, let's roll with this setup for a little while and see what happens. If that bait over there, if it don't end up working out for us, we'll just lower it back down. Worth a shot, though. It'll be fun if it happens. Okay. But anyway, circling back to the story while we got a second here between fish, like, on social media, man, you can do anything. Even if it's a small, minimal, a hobby with minimal people like it was for me. You stick with it and it can turn into something. And it don't matter if you're catching fish out of a kayak or you're a grown-ass adult and you're building forts with your G.I. Joes from the 1980s. Here we go. We're going to have oh, he dropped it. But whatever it is you're into, you can turn it into something. It's an incredible time to be alive. But I do hate, with that said, I do hate social media. It's a love-hate. There's things I love about it and things I hate about it. Has this fish actually got it? He keeps hitting it. No, he dropped it again. He's tried for it a few times. I almost kind of want to keep the camera pointed toward this rod in case one just comes up and eats it right there. Hopefully the bait's showing up on the camera. I don't know if it is or not with the glare and all, but that will be one hell of a sight. Or we could fish with one rod, say we left this one out of the water, we're reeling up the fish on our one rod that would be down on bottom, and as soon as we get the fish up and we see he's got friends with him, we stick it back in the rod holder, grab the other rod that's bait on, ready to go, and just dip it down. That would be something too. Either way, man, these fish are very aggressive today. They are actively feeding. There is a bunch of them up on this flat. I don't know what would be going on out there in the main channel off the drop, but I have a hard time believing it would be the same volume of fish out there as what we're getting up here. And there are, I mean, that last one there was a pretty good quality fish. Like, there are some decent fish here that's in the mix. We're having to sort through a bunch of smalls, but there are some decent quality up here. So we're just going to stay the course, man. We're going to stay doing what we're doing here. We'll stay on the move. I mean, hell, we've been catching them all the way up through here, so no reason to spot lock. Although we can make an argument to do that, it's just, of course, if we spot lock and we're setting still, maybe they won't touch it. Maybe they want it moving. I mean, they're clearly willing to chase today, so. And then that yellow bass got eaten too. I mean, like, that was a pretty big bait for the size of the fish that ate him. I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, you think of like an 8-inch yellow bass, I mean, compared to say a 50-pound class blue or flathead, that's a potato chip. But for the size of the fish that ate that yellow bass, I mean, he was willing to eat a very large bait. So they're aggressive today, man. They're on the feed. Now, none of the fish we've caught, they ain't been marked up. It don't look like they're done with the spawn or anything, but at the same time too, I have to wonder, with the way they're following each other up and acting the way they are, I mean, it looks like if you've ever watched carp spawn, and I've got videos on my channel where carp spawn is going on, I'm fishing for them, you will see one particular fish, I assume it's the female, swimming along, and as she is dropping those eggs, there will be male fish beside her splashing and, doing their thing, fertilizing those eggs as they move along. And so when I'm seeing this kind of activity happening, it kind of looks similar to that, even though that's not how you typically think of catfish spawning. It may just be they're super aggressive and this fish has got a bait and they're all trying to snatch it out of its mouth. I mean, that could be all there is to it. It may just be overthinking things, but either way, it's fun, man. It's fun, and we're catching some fish today. Hopefully people watched long enough into the video and sat through my terrible stories to see it through. Y'all know me. Those of you that fish with me regularly, I've always got some terrible stories to tell. I was actually thinking on the way out here today, one of the things that observation I've made, maybe an observation some of you either have already made or would make if I brought it up. But it's how much less traffic there is in the summer. Because here's the thing. So I live right behind a school, an elementary school. And so in the fall to spring, when kids are in school, depending on what time I leave the house, there is a ton of traffic because of the school. I have to go up the road by the school to get to my house. So, God forbid I'm coming home at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There'll be a line of cars waiting there on the street to get their kids, because, they have to, somebody always has to be first. And then you get a line, and I have to go James Bond driving down oncoming traffic to get up to my house. It's incredibly frustrating. Same thing, too, when I go out of my road in the mornings during the time when kids are coming to school. There'll be a cop out there directing traffic and whatnot, and you get stuck sitting there waiting. But, even once you get out of the school area and you get on the main highway there and you're moving along and you're a few miles away from the school, there's still a bunch of traffic. There's still way more, I guess, people taking their kids to school. There's just way more cars on the road in the mornings during the school year than what there is in the summer. And so I'm on my way here this morning. Of course, I left kind of late because I slept a little longer, and it would have been a time during the school year where I would have been even later getting out here because I would have got stuck in traffic. But today there's no traffic. It's what a glorious situation to be in with no school. Where does the traffic go? Is all of that traffic the other 9 months out of the year? Is it just from school children? People taking their kids to school? And if it is that something we could fix? Because here's the thing, I could get my sunglasses out of here. It's cloudy today, but my eyes are still being blinded by what light there is. But I guess it's a different world today. When I was a kid, my parents had jobs. And so I had to ride a school bus. And it always sucked for me riding the school bus too, because the way the bus route was, I was the first one to get picked up in the mornings. I would literally be the first one on the school bus, and I would be the last one off in the afternoon. It was terrible, because I had to get up even earlier to get on the damn bus, and then it took me even later to get home in the afternoons. I hated it. But my parents had jobs. They couldn't take me to school. And I see all these people today, and people lined up down my road waiting to be able to, because the school parking lot will be full, and they'll literally be out on the road, parked, just waiting for their turn to go up and get their damn kids. I'm like, do these people not have jobs? What's the deal? How are this many kids able to be picked up by their parents and stuff? But driving out here today, it kind of, there we go. Another fish. Now let's see if our other one over here will get eaten when we get him up here, if he's got friends. I want this other bait to get eat right under the surface so bad. Has he got anybody with him? Oh, I'm not seeing any. We got a loner here. This one's a loner. This one ain't got no friends. This fish right here, he ain't in school. He ain't part of the schooling fish right here. He said he's done with school. He dropped out. He don't want to go to school and sit in that school bus every day. He's like me as a kid, man. He just hated riding that school bus. So he just told his parents he wasn't going to school no more. He's done with it. Riding a school bus will do that to you, won't it, fish? He says, hell yeah, it will. As he about takes my hand off on the way out. Well, we still got this head bait sitting here on the floor. Let's just go ahead and put it on. Send it right down. But here's where I'm getting at with this. Another story y'all don't give a damn about. If the school children are responsible for all the traffic 9 months out of the year that they're in school, is there a way around that? Because it sure is nice not having to have as much traffic on the roads. And if you all are in the same situation, maybe you've noticed it too, I have to believe, I mean, nobody likes sitting in traffic. Nobody likes it. I have never in my life ever heard anybody say, gee, I sure hope I get stuck in traffic today. Nobody wants that. People want to get where you're going as quickly as possible. And it's much easier to do in the summer than it is the rest of the year when the kids are in school. So that, coupled with the fact that, let's be real, the school system, it's antiquated. It's not suited for modern day life. I mean, now granted, I've been out of school a while now because I'm old. But when I was in school, hell, half the damn day was just a waste. You know, like you go and sit in class and you're bored out of your mind because it's stuff you're not interested in. And most of it's just memorization. You're reading textbooks and memorizing enough facts just long enough to get through the test on the whatever day you got the test on. And then it's gone. And in the world we live in today, where we all have a cell phone on us and we got a personal computer in our pocket, and nowadays with the AI, Chat GPT and Claude and whatever Google's is called, I mean, hell, there's a million of them. The answer to any question you have is in your pocket. I don't even want to think about how many times I use Chat GPT every day. Any random question that pops into my mind, I pull out my phone, I ask it, and I have an instant answer. So when it comes to basic facts that you would learn in school, why do we need to still memorize those in 2026? Sure. In 1988, when I was a school child, sure, we didn't have all this technology. But now, times have changed. The school system hasn't. It's antiquated. And here's another argument I'm going to make. And this ain't going to sit right with some people, especially y'all that work in the education system. Y'all are gatekeepers and you're trying to protect an industry that has long since failed the current generation. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, all you heard was, oh, you got to go to college. You got to go to college so nobody's going to get a good job. If you went to vocational school out of high school to learn a trade, you was looked down upon. Well, guess what? Look at the situation now. All them people that went to college, they've got thousands of dollars in debt, student loan debt, that they'll never shake, and none of them can get jobs. Meanwhile, the people that was looked down upon, that went to vocational school and learned a trade, they come out of school, their vocational program, with little to no debt at all, and they have a skill that they can use to actually earn money with, put food on the table. The plumbers, the electricians, the carpenters, the welders, those people all have gainful employment and are living a nice life right now, while the academics of the world went to college, took on tens of thousands of dollars in debt. Now they're working at Chick-fil-A. They're over here making coffee at Starbucks. And I'm not shitting on the people that work at Chick-fil-A or Starbucks. Those are honest, hard-working jobs. They deserve a wage for that. But we got sold lies when I was a kid. When I was a kid growing up, all the way from knee-high up through high school and college, we were sold lies. That world no longer exists. But we were still stuck in that same educational system. And the same school system happens today. These kids go to school. They waste some of the best years of their life in a classroom memorizing facts that don't matter, that they don't need to memorize because they have access to every answer in their pocket. Now, do I think there shouldn't be any school? No, there should absolutely be school for kids. I think just the socialization part alone is important. I mean, I'm as antisocial as it gets. I was an introvert even as a child, but I needed that practice of interacting with people and communicating with people. Like, that's important. That's an important skill everybody needs. And you do need some knowledge, okay? You need to know how to read. You need to know how to write. You need to know how to do basic math. Those are important skills. you can ask ChatGPT stuff, but right now you need to be able to read the answers, right? Like, you need to be able to communicate. Those are important things that kids need. Do we need to go to high school or need to go to school all the way up through age 18? I don't think so. Some trades, some things, certainly, sure. But like, I look at myself, like going middle school, high school, etc. You know, you're taking algebra, geometry, pre-calculus and calculus. I had to take a probability and statistics class in college for my nursing degree. And it's like, first off, just me personally, I'm not a math whiz, okay? I can do basic math. I can do 2 plus 2. I can calculate percentages in my head. If I'm at a restaurant and I want to leave a tip, I can calculate that in my head. I don't need them to put it on the receipt. Can I do complex equations? Hell no. Is there ever been a situation in my life that I needed to do a complex equation? Hell no. So unless you're trying to be a scientist of some kind or an engineer, why do you need that advanced math as kids? Now, look, some kids are going to have a more natural aptitude for things like math or science or writing or whatever, right? And I think if a kid does have a natural aptitude, if they're more interested or more gifted in that area, they should have an opportunity to pursue that. But 99% of them won't have that natural aptitude or desire. So why should they be forced into it? Why should they be forced to do something that's not going to benefit them at any point in their life? Why not spend that time instead of going to, if you know your kid isn't very good at math, it's pretty obvious from an early age, right? Like, you don't just suddenly in 8th grade turn into a math whiz, or sophomore year of high school, suddenly you get good at math. Like, you can see pretty early on that this kid, maybe and kids are all different, right? Maybe you've got multiple kids and one of them's really good at writing and the other one's really good at math. You're going to spot that early on. Well, why not have programs for kids who do have a natural aptitude for them to pursue it? And then everybody else just be like, you know what? We're going to get you through some basic arithmetic here so you can function in life. But then instead of wasting your time doing algebra and pre-calculus and calculus, etc., put your time towards something you're either interested in, maybe a skill you want to learn, or whatever other part of the academic world that maybe you are better at. But that ain't how it works. Everybody gets a one-size-fits-all in elementary school, middle school, high school. It's all one-size-fits-all. Cookie cutter. Because when the school system was created, it was made for people being factory workers. They wanted us to be good little employees when we grew up. Well, those jobs have gone away. And the ones that haven't gone away are quickly going away as technology gets better. So why are we still educating kids the same way, in the same fashion, for a world that no longer exists? It doesn't make sense. To me, it seems like you would focus on what the kid is good at versus trying to make them into something they're never going to be. Like, here's an example I'll give you. This will hopefully be more relatable to most people. Let's say, I'll just use myself as an example here. Let's say I decide I want to be a baseball player. I want to be a professional baseball player. And I played baseball as a kid. T-ball, Little League, etc. Now, as a kid, it was pretty obvious I wasn't going to make it as a Major League Baseball player, right? Like, you can tell at an early age kids who are naturally athletic, who are gifted in that. And everybody else, you take me. And of course, you know, my folk, we didn't have money for these camps and one-on-one training and all the crap these kids do today. But even if I had had that stuff, would I have gotten better at baseball? Sure. Would my batting average have gone up? Undoubtedly. Personalized one-on-one training and coaching? Sure. I have no doubt I would have gotten better. Would that have turned me into a Major League Baseball player? Hell no. My body, I'm just not, I don't have the genetics. I don't have the genes. Like, you can't turn me into an elite level athlete. I can get in good shape. I can be better at something if I practice it and pursue it. But am I ever going to be an elite Major League Baseball hitter? Hell no. No, you can't turn, and it's the same thing with a kid who is, you take two kids and one of them is very gifted at math and one of them isn't. You can give them both the same tutor and the same extra educational programs. The one who is gifted at math will flourish and grow and turn that into something even more. The one who isn't gifted at math, they'll get better, they'll learn more, but they're never going to be on the same level as the one who has a natural aptitude for it. And what creates that natural, what do you want to call it? Genetics? A God-given talent? Call it whatever you want. But how many times, I mean, you've seen it. You probably see it with yourself. If you have kids, I guarantee you see it. Everybody's good at some things and bad at others. You know, I'm pretty good at basic math. I can't do calculus for nothing. You know, like, we all have things. Oh, this fish has got something. This fish has got him a hook in the jaws. What he's got. He's got a natural aptitude for eating a bait with a hook in it. I'm happy he does too. I'm happy to reel him in. I got an aptitude for reeling in fish today is what I'm doing. Although we have gone through a little bit of a break. I think we maybe got off of them. I'm probably going to lower our other bait down over here, back down on bottom until we get on some fish again. Kind of wonder if we shouldn't turn around versus keeping going, but I don't know. You can make an argument for it. But I'd kind of like to see if we run into another big school of them up through here too. We'll just stay on the course for now. Come here, fish. Let's see where that, oh, I about put my finger right there by the hook, but pointing the other way, thankfully. There we go. See you, buddy. He's a larger dink anyway. Big splash on the way out. Big splash. Yeah, this is a hell of an idea we had over here on this rod on the right, but it ain't panned out so far. So let's lower it down here in a second until we get back on some fish. But here's where I'm going with this. We started talking about the school traffic, and we've got off on a tangent here about how bad the educational system is. But where I'm going with it is, like, there are things about yourself, if you really, evaluate yourself honestly and critically, that you're going to find that you're good at, and there's going to be some other things you find that you're bad at. And while you can practice and spend time trying to improve the things you're bad at and ultimately get better, if you're naturally bad at something, you're never going to be elite at it. So in the world we live in today, where it's the specialists who are making money, right? The days of the factory worker, man, they're going away. And even if you are fortunate enough to have a factory job that's maybe in an industry that's safe from AI and robots taking over your job, you're not going to get the same benefits as you did 30, 40, 50 years ago. There's no more pension plans. People aren't, companies aren't loyal anymore. They're going to use you and abuse you and send you packing and replace you with somebody working for a fraction of the wage. So instead of focusing on what we're bad at and spending all that time and energy and to get better at something that ultimately doesn't matter, why not put that same time and energy into what it is you're good at and get as great as you possibly can? Because one, you're already good at it naturally. Two, just as human beings in general, we typically are more inclined to enjoy something if we're good at it and we're having success at it. It becomes more fun and enjoyable, and we're going to do it more. So why not just focus on what you are most likely to be the best at and turn that into something? So like my own example here, I'm good at basic math. I can't do calculus or all the classes I had to take. Like, why make me take those classes? I'm never going to be a scientist. It was obvious from age 5 on, kindergarten on, I wasn't going to be a scientist. I'm not going to be working at NASA. I'm not going to be an engineer. So why take it? Why not put me in classes that accentuates what I am good at? And if you did that, if the educational system was changed so that everybody gets the basics, you learn to read, write, basic math. This fish is, well, it was a slow pull. Slow pull on that fish, but I think it's just going to be a small one. Sometimes in slow pulls, you'll get a whopper on there. Oh, he had a fish come up with him. He's got one up here with him. He's got 2 with him. Let's set him in the rod holder. And we got one on this rod too. I was going to raise this one up and drop it down. They're over here fighting. They're over here fighting for that bait. They're literally fighting to get it out of his mouth. Look at this. He's got the bait wedged in his mouth, and there's another one there. 2 of them. 2 of them. Look at this. Look at this. Look. They're trying to get the bait out of the mouth. That is the damnedest thing. I was going to raise this one up and drop it down to him, but we had one on this. We had a double on. He's got fish with him too. There's one following him up. That's a bigger one right there. Here, come over here, fish. Come over here. Come up here. Here's what I want to do. I want to get you unhooked. I want to put another bait on, and I want to drop it down here right under the surface. I want to try to do what we were hoping to do when I had that bait just under the surface. They may be gone now, though. Open up, fish. Come on. Help me to help you, fish. If you'd open your mouth, I'd done have that thing out. He don't care. He don't want me running this experiment, does he? Open up. Come on. You're being ridiculous right now, fish. You're being very rude. This fish needs to learn. He needs to take an educational class on manners, because he ain't got none. Okay, let's just take this bait. Are they still around? Let me just dangle this thing here under the water. They may be gone. They might be gone. All right. I'm going to set this one back under the surface again. I don't see any over here either. We'll leave that one right there under the surface. I'm hell-bent on doing it, folks. I want one of them fish to come up and just eat it. 5 foot of line out is what I want to happen. Come on. Come on in. Let's get you unhooked. You had that bait way down in your mouth. That's the only reason you still got it, fish. Your friends ain't much of friends. They were going to snatch it plumb out your mouth. There we go. I snatched it out of your mouth too. You didn't even get the bait, did you? You can have it though. It looks like it's beat. Yeah, let's toss that out and get a fresh one. Yeah, I think I want to do that, folks. I think I want to leave this bait up over here on the right. We'll drop this one down, and when it happens again, unless we're jinxing ourselves, we'll just be able to grab this rod real quick and dip it over here where the other one's at. That's going to be the plan. Will it work out? We'll see. We're going to try it though. All right, down that head bait goes. That's fun, y'all. Man, it's exciting. Even though those were small fish, the small fish that we caught and then small fish that came up, it's still exciting to see. He's already got on it right there. I just dropped it down. He's already on it. Okay, we might get our chance here. No, he's gone. No, he's still on there. He'd come up in the water. Oh, it's another yellow bass. Look at this. I don't even know how that happened. That's another daggone yellow bass though, man. All right, well, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen. You already know what's going to happen. We're taking this head off. We're going to give him a little haircut. We'll get this fin out of the way. Them catfish can certainly eat it with them fins on. But the problem is, them fins can prevent you getting a good hook set. So I like to give them a little snip. There we go. Boy, that's two. Yeah, I've never caught a yellow bass ever on my catfish rigs before, and we have now done it twice today. This is the damnedest thing. But I'm happy to have it because now we got us another big live bait down there. And I have to believe at some point, as aggressive as these cats are today, we're going to get this thing eaten. I can get caught up with there. My sinker got down there way before the fish did. Having trouble getting this thing set. The fish, my sinker got down there, and the fish took off and took a bunch of line. Okay, there's my sinker. I thought. Fish, calm down just a minute. Let me get this thing set. I want to get you eaten. He don't care. Okay, there's my sinker. Now we're in business. Now he's right there off the bottom. Took a minute. We got him down there. Y'all, I want to get that live yellow bass eaten. I'm going to leave this one up here for a minute. Under the surface. That way, again, if we reel in something, we can just pick that up and dip it right there in front of them others. Right here on the screen's a big school of shad with some marks right there under it. We're 23 feet. So, y'all, I'm going to fist pump that, man. This is an exciting day. Very exciting day. I'm having some fun with this. Part of me thinks since we've got the live bait on, maybe we should drop the cut bait down. But if we do that, then we're not going to be able to run the experiment where we dip it over. It's going to be so fun. Like if we can just like hand feed a piece of cut bait to a catfish, it is going to be so much fun. He's getting lively. Those yellow bass are good lively baits. They fight hard. They'll just get down there. They tolerate a hook well. They'll kick, cause commotion, draw attention to themselves. I've caught some big blues and flatheads on yellow bass, both live and cut. But there's something going on today. Weather, the moon, time of day, I don't know. But something's going on to make these fish super aggressive. Yeah, buddy. I'm going to kick back and relax again here until it's time to reel another one in. We'll sit here and talk more about the antiquated educational system y'all don't care about. Where I'm going with all that, though, let me finish up on that while we're between fish. Because, I mean, when I take over the world, things are going to be different, by gosh. But the school system today, it's just antiquated. I think people would be better in this world we're going into in 2026, where everything's kind of specialized. I mean, whether it's a specialized trade at a normal job, even YouTube, man. Let's just break it down to a little, smaller. What's the word I'm looking for? Not ecosphere. A small. Here's what I'm trying to say, even though I don't know the word for it. In the earlier days of YouTube, you would have these vloggers. They would just kind of film their life. And you still have a few of those people that are successful, but for the most part now, if you're going to be successful on YouTube or social media and gain a following, it's going to be because you have some hobby or skill. And that will be, now people may find you through that and then gravitate towards your personality or lifestyle or whatever, but how they're going to find you is through that skill, through whatever that common interest that you and that person share. That's how they're going to find you. And some of them will keep coming back because of that, and some of them will keep coming back because of your personality, something they kind of bond with you through social media, through your videos, if you will. But it's hard in 2026 to just try to be generalized and get any kind of following. Like, you need a specialty. And the same thing is true in life, in the workforce. Like, you need a specialty. And it would be so much easier to find that specialty and acquire the skills necessary if you didn't waste the most formative years of your life being bored out of your mind with stuff you're not interested in as a kid, and being forced to take classes that is never going to apply to your life. I mean, I knew at, 7, 8 years old, I was never going to be a mathematician. I was never going to be a scientist or an engineer. It just wasn't going to be possible for me. But yet, I still had to waste a bunch of time trying to get good enough at the algebras and the calculuses to get through the class so I could graduate and get that high school diploma and ultimately a college degree that don't mean diddly poo for what I do now. Now, granted, I did need a high school diploma to get in. Well, I mean, I guess you could do it in a GED, but to get into college, and I did need a college degree to be a nurse, which I was before this YouTube crap took off. I was a registered nurse, and you have to have a college degree in a nursing program, an accredited nursing program, to be able to take boards and get your license. So in that aspect, I did have to go to college to be able to do that. However, why did I become a nurse to begin with? Well, I was spinning my wheels in college, didn't know what the hell I wanted to do, and I thought, well, here's nursing. It's the most amount of money for the least amount of education, I mean, there's not too many jobs in East Tennessee where you can get a 2-year degree and make what you can make as a nurse. Plus, you're always going to have a job. It's a recession-proof industry. I don't think AI is going to take over. Oh, has something got him? Has something got him? He got lively. Something's got him. Something's got him, folks. Oh, something just let him go, too. Something had him. I hope they didn't kill him. I fear they've killed him. Let me set him back in the rod holder and see if he recuperates. Okay. Either something's after him again or he's moving again. Something wants him. I don't think that's him doing that. But it ain't acting like something's big enough to really eat him. I don't know what's going on here. Has something got... Well, I mean, he ain't pulling drag. That yellow bass, especially after he's been hit, is not pulling drag. But nothing's on there. Something's let him go. Is the hook foul hooked? No? Boy, he's in rough shape. He's in rough shape. Let's send him back down, though. We'll send him down there whole. He's about dead. Whatever's after him's about killed him. It's a smaller fish, I think, that was chewing on him. Maybe should cut him up. If we reel him up again, we'll just use him as cut bait because he's had it. We'll see if something comes back after him. I want a whole school of them to come up again so we can dip that other bait and have a real battle. But yeah, man, if you change the education system so that, I don't know, maybe elementary school, you figure out what kids are gifted in what areas, and you get maybe even up through middle school even. And he's back after it. Yep, something's got him. Something's got him now. Yeah, buddy, something ate that whole yellow bass. The whole daggone thing. But you know what? It don't feel it. Oh, something. Look right here. Look right here. He just ate it. Did you see that fish? He just ate it right there under the surface. It's a small one, though. That was a small one. I saw him eat it. Right there under the surface. We didn't even have a chance to dip it over. Yeah, this is a little bit better one here. It's a fun sizer. Smaller fun sizer, but still. Oh, he splashed me right in the face. Did y'all get wet that time? I got sopping wet. Sopping wet. Let me check the camera here. What are y'all looking like right now? Yeah, you did get a little water on the lens, didn't you? You still got water on the lens. Clean that off there. Clean your face off, folks. There you go. Now you're beautiful again. Let's see here, fish. Oh, man, I wish I could have. I don't think the camera was able to see that fish eat that bait over there, but I saw him come after it. He hit it. I glanced over, and I saw him take it. Right there under the surface. Boy, this thing is hooked in a precarious way. I gotta get you unhooked, fish. We're trying to do something here. I'm trying to fix the education system. Oh, get. I felt him wanting to flop. Now he just got me sopping wet on this side now. He got me right in the mouth too. Did he get you all wet again? No, y'all dodged it that time. Consider yourselves fortunate. Well, Tell you what, before we land the little one over here, let's just go ahead and put this other bait on. We've got, I think that head's been used. Did he fling that off maybe? Let's send it down. As aggressive as they are, I don't think it's going to matter. I think we could use a chewed up turd today and probably get it bit. I don't know who the hell would chew up a turd, but you know what I mean. If you chewing turds, that's a very small niche of people, and I wouldn't film yourself doing that. Although I guarantee somebody'd watch. Fish, you ever seen anybody chew turds before? Little 2 girls, 1 cup action. You don't know what that is, and I wouldn't recommend looking that up either, folks. I'm talking about blast from the past right there. That was like one of the original viral videos back in the day, and it ain't one you want to see. Little old fish. Oh, 2 girls, 1 cup. I'd say they don't make videos like that anymore, but unfortunately they do. Somebody out there is looking it up right now and is about to be repulsed. I'm going to drop this right back under the surface here again. Alright, it's right there, a foot or 2 underneath the water. Let me bring it up a little bit more too. A little bit more. There we go. It's right there under the surface now. Now we can just bring it over real fast if we have a school of them come up again. Or like that other fish, it just comes up and eats it right there. Yeah, I'm going to try my damnedest to get through the rest of this story here before another fish interrupts it. But my point is, the education system is outdated. It no longer fits. Kids are coming out of high school now less prepared for the real world than ever before. College is turned into a money pit that shackles people with debt. Now, granted, there are some college programs that are needed and important. If you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, an accountant, like, you're going to have to go to college and get a degree to be able to sit for your respective boards and be able to, obtain licensures or whatever to practice in your field. But everybody else that's working a normal job, a normal skill, like, you don't need that. You don't need to take on the debt, and you shouldn't have to waste the best years of your life practicing and getting better at skills you're never going to need in life that you don't have any. I mean, it's one thing if you're interested in it, but kids ain't interested in taking, unless your kid's good at math, he don't want to take algebra. He don't want to take calculus, and there's nothing he's ever going to do in life that he's going to need it for. So let him take that time, he or she, whatever, and take another class. Or maybe not take a class at all. I don't know. Maybe just let kids be kids. What a concept that would be. I mean, Lord Almighty, now, when I was a kid, this is going back to the 80s. So I was born in 82, so I started kindergarten at 5, so that'd be, 1987. Kindergarten in 1987, we learned the alphabet in kindergarten. I can specifically remember the teacher, every week we would have a new letter. And there'd be a little letter and a thing up there on the board, and we would get things associated with that letter. And nowadays, kids have to know the alphabet and how to count before they go to kindergarten. Like, they're expected to already have that skill set before they ever even get to school. And it's like, on one hand, you can make an argument that they're already having that knowledge. They're further ahead and can learn more and yada, yada, yada. But on the other hand, it's like, can there not be an argument made to just let kids be kids? Like you do learn a lot through play. You do. Your imagination exists in your mind when you're a kid for a reason. Like it's part. You learn. You learn through play. And I feel like nowadays we're taking that play. Kids still get to play certainly, but not. Now they're being put into preschool before they go to school and being forced to learn all this stuff. It's like, does it really make that much of a difference learning your alphabet at age 3 versus age 5? I mean, are there maybe there is, maybe I'm just not aware, but are there studies and statistics that show that kids that learn the alphabet at age 3 are so much more % likely to be successful in life than those kids that learn their alphabet at age 5 or 6? If those numbers do exist, I would be happy to look at them, and I would probably question the validity of the study, because I just don't think it matters, man. I functioned just fine in life, and I didn't learn my alphabet till age 5 in kindergarten. If you gave me some calculus problem today, unless you're going to let me ask ChatGPT the answer, I ain't going to figure it out. I function in life just fine. I can balance my checkbook. I can keep up with my actual books for the business here for tax purposes. That's all I need to do as far as math goes. So why did I waste all of those countless hours in school with something that was completely useless? That time would have been so much better spent toward learning a skill, learning a trade, pursuing something I was interested in. And if you could change the educational system to, more accommodate this world we live in today, well, maybe kids don't have to go to school as long. I mean, why, who set the bar? Why did it end up being that you go to elementary school, middle school, high school for 4 years, and you're 18 when you get out and you're ready to hit the workforce? Why? Who made that up? Why can't you get a basic education before age 12 and then maybe spend age 12 to 16 just pursuing random interests to see if you do have a natural aptitude for a skill or learning a trade? And then when you do become an adult, and again, who the hell determines an 18-year-old is ready to be an adult? Hell, I didn't know shit at 18. I was just a big kid at 18. I didn't know no better. I was technically an adult by the law, but I didn't know nothing. And maybe this is where homeschoolers are ahead of the game. When I was a kid, this is another one of those things that was kind of looked down upon. You go to Little League practice and somebody was there you didn't know from school. Well, it turns out their parents homeschooled them. You're like, oh, a homeschooler. It was looked down upon. But those kids, if you're homeschooling your kids, you can prioritize. You've got work that they have to do. I don't really know how the homeschool process works, but I'm sure there's a curriculum and they have to be tested and all that. But you can designate whatever time you want for school and have other time for other activities. And it's not like kids that are homeschooled aren't being able to be socialized and be around other kids. There's homeschool activities, meetups and stuff. There's sports activities. Other hobbies and stuff. I don't know, card collecting or Pokemon or whatever kids do, the hell these kids do nowadays. They're going to be able to meet and interact with other people their age around hobbies and sports and things like that. So they're going to get some community, get some social interaction. But, I mean, if we did this, kids would be better off. They'd be more prepared to enter adulthood in the workforce. And you know what wouldn't happen? We all wouldn't be sitting in traffic every damn day during the school year, because you wouldn't have as many kids in school. If kids got out of school and through 8th grade, well, maybe you could get rid of high school altogether. Or have high school be a very small, much smaller thing for just the people who did show a natural aptitude for some form of academics. But most people, I mean, even people I went to college with, man, you take a lot of college graduates. I mean, how many useless degrees are there out there? Absolutely useless. I mean, my wife, let's take my wife for an example. My wife's a college graduate. She went to Tennessee Tech. And she got a degree, some form of business management with like a human resources focus or whatever. Now, my wife does now today work in human resources. But you know who else works in human resources with her? People that don't have a damn degree in human resources. Like, she could have got the same damn job. Here we go. Oh, he took it down and let it go. Did he get our bait? He didn't. Let's send it back down. But my wife could have got the same damn job and maybe even got it faster if she didn't waste so much time in school. And nothing she learned in school is applicable today. Nothing. There's not one damn thing she learned in school that's applicable today because the world changed. Every company, I'm going to lower this bait down. I'm going to lower this down just a smidge lower. I'm not going all the way to the bottom. We'll go part of the way to the bottom, about halfway. That way we can reel up quick if we need to. And be able to dip it. But like the stuff my wife learned in college about management and human resources specifically, it doesn't apply now because every company is going to have their own policies. Policies are going to change with the world we live in today, culture, environment, etc. Like, there's nothing she gained in college other than a degree, and the degree for her job doesn't really matter now. So, in the end, she spent a lot of money and wasted 5 years, and she took her 5 years to get a 4-year degree. A little shot there at my wife, but it is what it is. But she spent all that money, spent 5 years in college, and now has a fancy diploma that's worthless. It's not worth the paper it's written on. There are tons of degree programs like that. We got one. Here we go. Let's hope this fish has some friends with it. I'm not seeing any right now. I'm bringing him up kind of slow. And he just let it go. Well, you know what? Back down it goes. Quick release on that one. I told that fish, I said, if you ain't going to bring some friends up with you, you just go on. This ain't a party of one, buddy. You bring some friends or don't come at all. So he left. He listened to me. But yeah, but I mean, there's tons of programs like that. You take a... Oh, here's our bait that I had about halfway down. It just got eat. And it just got gone. Stole our bait. He ripped us plumb off. We got one of it's called the law. Call the cops right now. I'm going to make a report. Tell that officer that we've been stolen from. And I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate a fish doing us like that. Let's drop this one down about halfway too. we'll definitely get some better takedowns. Shorter the line, the better the takedown. Even on small fish. I'm not setting any specific depth, just random like that. But I mean, you take something like business management. You get all these people, not only will they have a degree in management, like a bachelor's degree, then they go back to school and they get their master's, get an MBA. Right? Like that's the thing you hear all the time. This person's an MBA. Well, I know a few people that's got MBAs. Now, I ain't going to, I'm not going to disrespect them by mentioning their names on videos, but I make more money than they do. And I don't have any business management. You know what the business management experience I have? I don't have any classes on it. I never took a class on business management. I took a class in life. When this YouTube channel took off, it started out as a stupid hobby and it turned into a profitable hobby and then a profitable business. Well, when it turned into a business, at least I had to start treating it like a business because, by God, the IRS was taxing me like one. I had to learn how to run a business. I don't know anything about that. I had always been an employee my whole life. I clock in, I clock out. Employer cuts me a check. They take out some taxes on me. I get a W-2 form at the end of the year. Maybe I owe a little bit. Maybe I get a little bit back, but that's how it was. I never had to run a business before. I worked for businesses. I never ran one. Well, guess what? Now all of a sudden I'm running a business and I got to learn stuff. I got to learn about tax. I got to learn about laws. I got to learn about keeping books. There's all kinds of stuff I had to learn. So I had to do that by educating myself. Read books, watch videos, call people. I was doing my trademark on my Kayak Catfish logo. Oh, I didn't know anything about that. So you know what I did? I hired a lawyer that specializes in copyrights and trademarks, and they took care of it. I don't know, when it comes to taxes and stuff, taxes used to be easy when I was a W-2 employee. But now all of a sudden I've got expenses. I've got business expenses. Things got to be written off. I'm getting a 1099 form from YouTube where they don't take out any taxes at all on me. So now I got to do quarterly. I have to pay my taxes quarterly now. I don't know how to do any of that. So you know what I did? I hired an accountant. Somebody that's educated in that field, knows what the hell they're doing. I hired them. So, I got an education myself in how to run a business through life experience because I had to. When something, the first couple years of this YouTube channel kind of getting going, man, most of my time, the fishing part's easy. Going out and catching fish, filming the videos, that part's easy. It was the behind the scenes business side of things that I was getting my ass kicked on, struggling because I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. So, the first couple years of this thing being a business, I spent as much time trying to learn crap that I didn't know as I did fishing, it felt like. But I got through it. And now I'm a lot smarter for it, and I'm able to operate this business as it is, and I make more money doing this YouTube channel than some of the people I know who have MBAs and went through a ton of time in college and their master's program. What good did it get them? Fish. Oh, he dropped it. But it's like, but that's the thing. It's like we were sold on the fact that you needed a degree, and if you wanted to be somebody in the business world, you needed an MBA. And in reality, what you need to do, if you want to run a business, is go start your own damn business. And I think he's got it this time. As soon as I pick up, he drops it. Let's switch this bait. Well, we ain't going to switch the bait out. Oh, hell, that leader's broke too. How have we broke so many leaders today? Snapped it clean. How the hell have we broken? We haven't broken this many leaders all year as we've broken today. This is odd, man. I don't get it. Unless it is maybe a gar down there or something. It could be. I don't know. But it's weird. It didn't feel like a very big fish. But I mean, if he had teeth, that might explain why it got cut. I don't know. It's weird, though. Really, hell, as many leaders as we've gone through today, I don't think we've gone through that many in a while. Other than that, well, that one day we were using chicken with the smaller hooks. We were gut hooking a few fish. That's why I went and got them 7/0 size circle hooks for that very reason. But I don't know. It's weird. Thankfully, I had plenty pre-tied, but at the rate we're going, I may have to tie up some more tonight instead of waiting till this weekend. Get this tied on. We'll put on that other body piece we got in the floor right there. But the point is, it's like, yeah, I mean, if you want to be CEO of Target or Walmart or something, well, I guess you probably do need a MBA from a Harvard type place or a Wharton Business School or whatever. But, I mean, if you're just wanting to run a business, start your own business and take the time and money that you would have spent going to college and put that towards your business and get it up and going. I promise these people, they're going to school, they're taking these management classes, they're learning about theory of management, theory that's outdated by the time they get out of school. Like, they're going to learn so much more out in the real world, starting their own business, than what they ever would in school. And then, let's say you start your business and it fails. Okay, most businesses do fail. That's facts, statistics. Most small businesses fail. Going to go under. Okay, let's say that happens to you. Worst case scenario. You go out of business. You start a business. For whatever reason, one reason or another, it fails. You go under. And maybe you do go get a job from a regular corporate job or whatever after that. Now, some people would say, well, you're competing against other applicants that have that college degree. But if you can get yourself an interview, what you're going to be able to sell yourself as was a business owner. You've got experience, man. And not only do you have experience in running a business at that point, but you know what it's like to fail and have to pick yourself up. That is real life experience. When you get these people that have been coddled their whole damn life, these trust fund kids, scholarship kids, they've had the best tutors and private schools and college scholarships, and they've been coddled from birth all the way up through their master's degree program where they get that MBA. People like that have never been tested. Sure, they've been tested as far as school goes, passing tests, standardized tests, whatever. Sure, who gives a crap? They've never been tested in life. Everything's been handed to them. They've never been knocked down and had to pick themselves up. You give me two choices. If I'm somebody and I'm hiring an employee, and I got two options. I've got somebody fresh out of school that's been handed everything. Clearly smart. They're clearly intelligent. They've made it through school and got their MBA. You give me the option of that person. Or another person comes in and they may not have the degree, the diploma's hanging on the wall, but you can tell just by talking to them that they're smart, that they've got their act together. And even if they failed at their respective business, I'm going to take that person As long as they're not, as long as they're smart, and you're gonna figure it. I mean, you can talk to somebody for 10 minutes and have a pretty good idea if they're smart or stupid, right? I mean, it don't take long to figure out if somebody's a dummy that you're dealing with. This fish is dumb if he thinks I ain't gonna reel him in. Let's hope this one will stay buttoned up and not break the leader, and maybe have a friend with him we can dip over. He does have a friend right there with him. Let's set him back. Reel this one up real fast. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Oh, they're gone. They came up with him. Let me bring him back up, see if they're still around. Dang, man. Dang. That was our chance. He had two with him. It took too long. It took too long to reel that line up, I think. Missed our chance. I thought we were going to be able to do it. I want to do that so bad. Okay, let's get this one going. We're going to try it again. We're not getting as many fish now. I think maybe we either moved off of them, most likely, or the bite's just fizzling out as we get later here in the morning. That's possible too. Thankfully, it's stayed cloudy. It's not too miserable hot, but it is getting hotter certainly. And that low light period we experienced there first thing is certainly gone, so I don't know. Either way, you know what I want to do. I want to have 2 or 3 fish follow one up and me just drop a bait down to them. That's what I want to do. I'm going to leave that one up. We're going to just fish with one rod down on bottom, and I'm going to have that one right here ready to go for the rest of the trip. That's what we're doing. I'm going to just have it ready. Okay. But yeah, if you give me an option, somebody that's fresh out of school, no real life experience, just has knowledge and has proven that they are smart enough to make it through college, and you give me another option of somebody who's been through the school of life, been knocked down a little bit, and is clearly an intelligent person and has learned through the process of living life, I would rather have the person with life experience than the person with classroom experience. That's me. That's me. And I think the world is going more toward that. Sure. Go back 70s, 80s, that college degree, maybe that puts you ahead of some other people in the application pool. But I don't think it's applicable as much in 2026. Nowadays, it's about, can you perform? Can you do the job? And can you do it better than the next person? If you can, if you have a skill and you're better than somebody else, you're going to get opportunities they don't. And that's why I think trade schools today are so underrated, because you can go to a vocational program and in 6 months to a year learn a trade oftentimes, or maybe it's something like electrical or electrician or plumber or something. Maybe you can get an apprenticeship of some kind, and within a year or two you come out and you have a skill that's valuable to society that you can monetize, and you haven't taken on a ton of debt to get it. College is expensive, man. So unless you're getting something out of it that you're Fish. Fish. I think I need to loosen that drag a little bit. Well, listen, feels pretty good right here, folks. He's fighting hard. Does he have friends with him? So what we want to know, though, that's the real excitement. And we ain't going to find out because he let it go. He completely let it go. Dadgummit. But I mean, unless you're wanting to be something that requires a college degree to get whatever licensure to work in that field, then there is no reason to go to college. No reason to take on that kind of debt. Learn a skill, learn a trade. This fish needs to learn how to eat the bait and the hook. I think maybe he's got it. I thought that on the last one, and I got proven wrong. Does he have friends coming up with him? I don't know why I'm singing. I don't see any. I don't see any. I see water all over my sunglasses, though. He got me that. He showed me that for sure. Come here, fish. Let's get you unhooked. What about you, fish? What do you think of the educational system today? They teaching you anything down there in your school? He said he's bored out. He said all they do is watch videos, movies all day in his school. There's worse ways to spend your time. All right, fish. Here you go. It's like the old saying, watch pot, don't boil. If we lower that other bait down to the bottom, then the next fish we reel up will have a bunch of fish with it. If we leave it setting up here ready to grab, then there ain't going to be no more fish come up. It's the damnedest thing. The floor of my kayak is nothing but slime, folks. This thing is slick as all get out. Need to wash this thing. I ain't even had this kayak very long. We've caught so many fish in it. It needs to be washed. Between the fish we've caught and throwing the cast net. There we go. Cast net will get your kayak dirty quicker than anything. But aside from just the and listen, even those of you out there that are part of the educational system, maybe, surely even you have to admit that education today is a little bit outdated. Did he get water all over the lens? No, y'all are good. I got water all over my lens. It is outdated for today's time. I mean, any responsible school teacher today has to admit that the way kids are currently being taught and the things they're being taught isn't preparing them in the way they need to be prepared for coming out of school. But selfishly, and how we got on this topic to begin with, and this topic went way too long, as most of them do. Selfishly, I would like school to end just because I don't want to be stuck in traffic. So when the day comes that I take over the world and I'm running things, hopefully soon, because this world's going to shit very quickly under the current leadership. And it ain't just the United States. I mean, it's all over the world. I mean, we got all kinds of problems in this world. You got a few political leaders at the top making bank. Everybody else is pissing in the wind. But when I take over the world, things are going to be different, by God, and the educational system's one of the things we're going to change. We're going to fix traffic by fixing the school system. I mean, that's where we at with it, folks. I mean, you have to notice that though, right? It's not just me in my area. There's less traffic in the summer than there is the rest of the year, and I think it's because of all the school children. Maybe some areas, maybe kids still ride the bus. I see school buses. My neighbor I hate so bad, he's a school bus driver. Sanford and Son. He was. I don't know if he still is or not. He used to be. I can't stand him. He's a nasty human being. But if I had kids, I wouldn't want him driving the school bus. That's for damn sure. Now, I know being a school bus driver is one of those jobs. It's kind of a thankless job. You know, nobody appreciates the school bus driver. So they don't get the proper pay and respect that they deserve. But if I had kids, I would not want my neighbor driving them. You know, I know at one point in time he was a school bus driver. I don't know if he still is or not. I don't interact with them people. I can't stand them. He repulses me. Almost as bad as the 2 girls, 1 cup thing. This fish is repulsed by the fact this bait's got a hook in it. Let's try it again though. Maybe he's got a friend. Will he have a friend? I don't know. Nope. Single. He's single. Oh, look at that. That is a big one right there. That was a huge fish, folks. That was a huge blue that come up. Did you see that? That big blue followed him up. That was a huge one. Oh, that was a whopper, folks. I hope that got on video. That was a golly whopper that followed him up. Oh my gosh. Here. Let's do this, folks. Let's drop this bait down real quick in case he went back down and still around. That was a huge one. That's the biggest fish I've seen in a while. Now, the water refraction, light refraction there might have made him look a little bigger, but still, he was a big fish. Let's drop that one straight down. Goodness gracious. Okay, all right, buddy. All right. He's gone, though. I don't see him no more. Come on in, fish. Was that your granddaddy down there? Because he sure looked like it. He was a big one. That's what I want to catch, folks. That big one right there. That got me percolating a little bit right there now. You know, I just wonder, and I'm, of course, those of you that have been with me a while, you know I don't spend a great deal of time up on these flats. I just don't, you know, for whatever reason. But I wonder, like, if we spent, let's say we spent a year just fishing areas like we fish today, looking for these flats that fall off to the main river channel. I wonder, obviously, I mean, clearly we're going to catch a bunch of fish doing that because there's a bunch of fish, small fish that'll lurk up here. But I wonder how many big fish we would catch compared to fishing the deeper ledges and deeper points and creek mouths and stuff like that I normally hit. I mean, what I do is tried and true. It's proven. But if I dedicated a large portion of time, would it pay off big? I don't know. I mean, the one thing that you do for sure get on these fish that are up here on these flats is you are getting fish that are eating. They're actively feeding. So when you come across them, they're going to be willing to eat. Versus out on when you get out here and you drift these ledges and stuff, you can put a bait right in the fish's face. If he ain't ready to eat, he ain't going to eat. You know what I mean? Like, whereas up here, they're already eating and you're just providing a bait for them. So it would be interesting. That would be interesting to know on that kind of thing. That one got thumped. Left rod got thumped. Right rod, right, both of them's going down at the same time. That one come off. This one's still on. Yup. Yup. Well, that sun popped out behind the clouds and it just got miserable, folks. Absolutely miserable. It went up 20 degrees as soon as that sun popped out behind the cloud. Come up in here, fish. You feel how much warmer it got, fish? Got hair in my nose or something too there, buddy. My nose was itching. What's that mean? If your nose is itching and somebody's about to call you or something like that? Is that a saying? Is that a thing? An old wives' tale? Go ask ChatGPT that, fish. If your nose is itching, I think it means somebody's going to call you or somebody's thinking about you or something. I may just be making that up. I ain't even going to cut the tail on this. I'm just going to drop it down as is. I don't think it matters right now. I think they're going to eat it regardless. I'll tell you what I'd like to have, though, today. Or like to have more of is some big live baits. With the way them yellow bass got attacked, I'd like to have that. I think tomorrow, you know what I think I may do tomorrow? Because let me see where we're at here in the cooler. Well, we still got quite a few shad. I think tomorrow I'm going to bring the Ultralight. And I kind of want to come right back here, honestly. Especially now that we saw that monster come up a few minutes ago. I kind of want to come back here. But I'm thinking I want to get some live baits. Maybe we come out early, hopefully earlier than what I done this morning. Oh, big thump. Big thump. We're back on them. It's going to be a little better one. It's going to be a little better one right here. That was a nice thump. That rod went kabonk. But I'm thinking we come out tomorrow. We bring Ultralight, catch us some live baits along the shoreline. I don't care what they are, bluegill, whatever. Whatever we can catch. We come back here and work this same area with all these fish and see what happens with it. That's what I'm thinking we do. This is going to be a better one. This is going to be a better one right here. He is staying down. Oh, this one over here got thumped. That one got thumped. Let's watch it go down. Y'all reeling that other fish over there. We got a double. I'm going to work on the one in the hand. This one feels good. I don't know what's going on with the other one. This one right here is going to be pretty good fish. The other one's kind of acting like a small. Boy, we've caught a bunch of fish today. I mean, a bunch of fish today. Yeah, this is going to be a solid fish right here. Fun sizer. Does he have friends with him? That's the next question to ask. I don't see any. Yeah, he ain't as big as I thought he was going to be. He's a fun sizer, but I thought he was going to be a little bigger than that. Let's put him back in the rod holder and see what we got over here. I don't think this one's going to be as big. So we're working around now. The contour, these fish right here, well, I'll show you here in a second. We get these fish up. The flat we were on it's circling around now. We've come across a creek channel here, so that particular contour line is done. And it's circling back around. Come here, fish. Come here. Come here. Come on in. We'll land you first since we got hands on you. There we go. All right. Little fat dink right there. He left us the bait on, which I will rehook and drop right back down. And then we will land his friend, and then I'm going to show you on the graph what has happened here with our route. First, I'm going to apparently get the line all tangled all to hell. Okay, now we're ready to drop it down. Y'all sabotage me again, make me look dumb on camera. Every time we fish together, you do that to me. Okay. Now, let's get his friend over here. This one's probably front camera worthy, but we'll see when we get him in here. Yeah, come on in, fish. Yeah, it's a fun sizer. I thought he was going to be bigger, though, the way he was fighting. He fought above his weight class, which I'm always happy about. I would rather him fight too hard than not fight at all. Tell you what, fish, it's your day. Let's make his day, folks. There we go. Little small fun sizer. There you go. Okay. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you here on the screen what I'm talking about here. I'll show you what's happened. So we've come up here. We've been working this flat, edge of the flat, all the way up, right? Well, we get up here, and you got a creek over here to the left, and there's a bigger creek system up here in front of us. Well, we worked all the way up this flat. You can see we've been following that line all the way up here. Well, you get up here, it makes a point where this other creek channel comes in, and that contour line we're on, it circles around. So now it's taking us back over the flat this way. So if we were going to continue on, I'd just pick us a line over here and keep going on up the flat this way. But here's kind of what I'm thinking I want to do, folks. I'm going to fish a little bit more right here since we're catching fish, but I think I kind of want to run back down. And especially that first area where we really started whacking them and we were seeing all of those fish chasing the others up. I'd kind of like to see if those fish are still there. I should have put a waypoint. In hindsight, which I don't even really know how to mark a waypoint on this. I bet I probably pushed that button maybe. That's something I need to research about this graph. I bet it's that. That seems logical. It's a waypoint button. I should have marked a waypoint then. But I kind of just want to run back down there and look on the way back, because I got to go that way anyway to get back to the car. I launched in another creek. Well, about 1.5 miles from where we're at now, I reckon. But yeah, and then I want to see if there's any more fish there, maybe drop a bait down, whatever. But I'm thinking tomorrow, now I've been kind of lately just hitting random places similar to this, right? Just these flats that fall off as helicopter man's going by. I'm thinking tomorrow I want to come right back here. We've caught so many fish, plus we saw that whopper a little while ago. I want to come back here. I want to reel in this fish first. I want to reel this thing in. That was that tail piece. I hit a button on the screen or something there. I want to get out at first thing, try to catch some bluegill or whatever we can. Yellow bass, drum, I don't care. But get some live baits. And I don't think I want to throw the net for shad. I mean, we could, but I would rather have something a little bigger and a little hardier. The thing with the shad, if you get some big gizzards, I can't keep them alive in a tank very long. Whereas the bluegill, yellow bass, things like that, they're just they're more hardy. They're going to last longer in a small tank, which, you know, I can't have a giant tank, a bait tank in this kayak. There's ain't enough room, there ain't enough weight capacity. So I think I come out tomorrow with an ultralight first thing, bust us a few, get us a dozen bluegill or yellow bass, whatever we can catch. And then we take those mixed in with the shad that we have left from today, and we run it back again and see if we can replicate this bite. See, is it just this is a prime area and there's a bunch of fish here right now? Or is today just an unusual special day and there's just something going on in the atmosphere or time of day or moon phase that have these fish just on fire? Because, I mean, we have flat out caught some fish today. Most have been small, but we've had a couple in there that mixed in that were good quality. We saw that whopper come up. We've saw numerous fish coming up being aggressive, trying to get the bait out of the other fish's mouth. So I want to come back and hit this area again tomorrow. And you know what? Could be tomorrow, a different day, could be a total bust. These fish may have moved on or not be active, and we not get diddly poo tomorrow. But I think that's going to be the plan. So for those of you that stick with me and hear regularly, tomorrow's video, if things go well, will be on this exact same spot. We'll follow the same line up through here again tomorrow, just with some more live baits. So here's what I think I'm going to do right now, though. I've got both these lines up right now. I think I'm going to reel up and just run back down here and see if I can find that big concentration of fish we were on again, and maybe poke around with them a little more before I get out of here. That damn sun, every time it pops up behind the cloud, though, it's miserable. So I ain't gonna fish too much longer, and the camera battery ain't got much life left in it anyway. So we'll go ahead, I think, and just wrap up this video now. I'll do a little fishing off camera for myself there on the way back, and then tomorrow we'll pick it up with the next trip and just try to whack them tomorrow. We'll come out first thing, get those live baits, and then start fishing. Who knows what we're going to hook into, man. I would have loved to have got that big one that come up. I hope, I'm excited to get home and review the footage and see how much of this we're able to see on the camera with these other fish coming up today. I hope some of it got on there. But, yeah, y'all, I think that's going to be the plan. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I'm going to head back. The motor's turning us back down this flat anyway, following this line. So I'm going to run down there and do that, and then I will see you all tomorrow, or it'll be a few days, when the next video comes out. I'll see you then. Thanks for coming with me today.